and welcome back to the DoDEA Esports Arena and Studio. And although we had a fairly long break today, we are back to continue our day 2 of the DoDEA Esports Pacific Championships and check in on how the teams have been doing and see how everything has been going. Today we're going to be jumping into now the Humphreys versus Kadena Rocket League match to see how these teams are doing, check up after the couple-hour break we had. We did see Kadena play right before the break and got to kind of see how they were playing overall, and they had a very impressive match. And although it's been a little bit since we've seen Humphreys, now we get to see how they stack up against a team that we're familiar with their gameplay for day 2.
Yeah, and with the closing up of day 2, we have another 2 matches for both Rocket League and Valorant that we're going to be broadcasting to you guys at home tonight. And to be honest, this is really where the wins and losses really start to stack up. At the end of day 2, all of the wins and losses are going to be tallied together, and that's what they're going to use to make the final tournaments for tournament day tomorrow. So it is now more important than ever, and it's probably weighing on these players' minds that every single win and loss they get from here on out means a lot more, as it's no longer the beginning of the tournament. Every single win, loss, and even point that you give up will count.
I mean, every point matters regardless, but yeah, the pressure is definitely on. And, you know, day 1 was warm-up day. Day 2 is the day to really show off your stuff. You got to make your first impressions, make a big wave during the first day. Now it's time to focus in and get serious. And we did see that from Kadena earlier, where they went through their match and had a very strong just presence on the field, great ball control, and great coordination. So we'll have to see how Humphreys chooses to handle that, as it will be quite the challenge.
Yeah, Humphreys was also one of the big teams that was able to capitalize on that ball control, play it in the air a little bit, and overall had some really good defensive and offensive plays. So having 2 of the big powerhouses of Rocket League in this tournament going up against each other on day 2 before the bracket even starts, that's going to be one heck of a treat.
Yeah, and as we get ready to load in, we get to see just how, excited these teams are really, throughout everything we've been watching. And it's just been a huge, exciting event to have so many games going back and forth. And although we don't get to watch every game, there are games constantly going in the background as well. And we're getting ready to jump into the match as we see these 2 teams go head to head right now, with Humphreys already on the offensive in Kadena's side. Kadena having a little bit of a rough start here, trying to look for their openings. Other team looking for positions here. They so far are able to get it cleared, but they'll have to be careful with how Kadena chooses to handle this potential scrimmage right over their goal. New Soup looking for the watch, but Cosmic is there and ready. Ball gets bounces it off the back wall, and the other team tries to follow it up, but it gets hit off the back wall again. The aim was not quite just right, and this gives Kadena the time to get a potential counteract in. Cosmic looking to go to the goal. It's on the back wall, tries to bounce it, just bounces it into the air. This could be a dangerous spot, but with the team working together, Humphreys is able to prevent the goal for now.
And luckily for them, Kadena wasn't quite in the spot that they needed in order to get to the goal. King Kaiser and Weth were both on 0 boost there, but now that they are back up to full, they have the playmaking potential, especially because they have not been able to clear it back over to Kadena's side of the field. Weth taking it over to that 100 boost here, trying to follow it up by King Kaiser, but it's going to be New Soup and Sen battling for this ball, trying to get it back over the midfield, currently on Kadena's side of the field. Weth is going to stop any sort of advance from Sen, but the other team does not want to commit to it quite yet. I mean, the other team is in the player and not the other team is in Humphreys.
I know, what a confusing name to have, but I mean, in a way, it's also fun for us as casters here, as no scores have been made. Still 0-0 right now at the 3-minute 30-second mark. Ooh, getting really close here. New Soup taking it. Oh! Great save by the other team. Doesn't even fully get recorded, but Weth tries to go for it and is going to be blocked. The other team hanging on. King Kaiser coming in too. That's 3 shots on goal for Kadena, with each player individually. That is rough for Humphreys here. It's going in front of the goal, but Weth does not manage to connect it. Right now, this is a dangerous spot for Humphreys, but they're holding on.
It's still in Humphreys' side of the field. Sen misses, and Cosmic Rocket League goes down to the demo. Weth trying to battle for this ball with the other team here, but no one's on the goal. The other team manages to sink it from midfield, giving them the first point in this turn, or in this game.
And with little less than 3 minutes on the clock, that is the first goal of the game, setting the precedence, and Humphreys showing that they are not going to back down without a fight, even though Kadena had such strong pressure on their side.
They had a lot of pressure, but no one was quite there when they needed to be.
Oh!
Kaiser almost finding it, but Sen, sitting in the goal, waiting for his time to strike, was able to come out at the perfect opportunity. New Soup unable to get that 100 boost, but he did get it there, taking it from Sen and stopping a potential pass out to his teammates. He's going to have to back off to get some more boost as the ball passes half court. He is able to control it, and he gets the block on the goal there. King Kaiser taking it away, almost making it to the goal, but Cosmic is just right there. The rotations out of Humphreys so far have been spectacular. Everybody has been getting the boosts they need in order to make the plays to get it onto Kadena's side of the field, and no one has really been able to follow up with Kadena's play. They've been putting it right where they need to.
Oh!
Kaiser bringing it in, but Sen, once again, full boost, is able to get him to the spot he needs to be to play a little bit of defense.
I mean, sure, Kadena has been getting good combos, but they still don't have a score on the board yet. And now that we're back on their side with 2 minutes on the clock here, Weth tries to volley it over, looking for an opportunity, but Sen is not letting it go through. King Kaiser goes for the shot, but the other team is there to block it. And with a demo onto Sen, they are going to have to be careful for the Humphreys here, but they are able to clear it. New Soup trying to gain some control, launches it into the air, right into the other team's clutches. However, it doesn't seem to connect as Weth tries to go for a shot. It's blocked right in front of the goal. This could be the good follow-up, but Sen is able to block it once again. Humphreys with an iron defense right now, going to hit the minute mark with 1 goal on the board.
It's still very doable for the Kadena offense to get a goal here, but they're going to need to step up their game just a little bit more. They need to be following up on these plays. They keep getting passed around, but nobody's taking the opportunity to punch it in. The other team in Cosmic Rocket League both with control of this ball, but New Soup is quick to take it back over the field. Sen going for a touch in midair, which he does get right into the hands of Weth 12. Taking it right over. New Soup ready to follow up, but Cosmic Rocket League taking the ball right away. King Kaiser, though, ready for the follow-up. Going past the goal. Sen almost but makes the save just barely.
Jeez, master of the defense.
To get this past Sen. King Kaiser, though, back on defense to keep this ball from going in. Half a minute remains in this round, and Kadena still have a shot, but they need to find their way in.
I don't know if they're going to be able to find it, though, with the way that everyone is playing. The saves that we're seeing here, Kadena is on the ropes for this game. If they can't get it in, they're going to lose it. 10 seconds, the other team passing it over, I guess, to Weth in a way. 5 seconds left on the clock. Weth, New Soup, and King Kaiser all moving up. They see a potential opportunity, but the ball might touch the ground before they can even get it. And with that, if they can't keep it in the air, which it looks like they might for a little bit longer. And that's it. With that, Humphreys is able to take game 1.
Yeah, looking at the stats here, Humphreys definitely had a disadvantage when it came to both ball control and total shots, but the quality of what they did with those balls when they had them were just a little bit better than what Kadena had to offer. A little bit of defensive misplays and some great saves off of both Sen and Cosmic allowed for Humphreys to just stay in this game a lot longer without giving up any goals.
I mean, they really chose to think about just how to use their defense there, and with the amount of shots that Sen was blocking, I mean, like you said, there was that one shot where it's like he could have hit it in, but he didn't. And with that, Humphreys was able to put on a huge amount of power because all they needed was 1 goal. I mean, if anything, that just reminds me of how actual soccer goes. So, you know, maybe we're just watching an actual soccer match and not soccer.
This is the lowest scoring Rocket League game that we've seen so far tonight.
Okay, we're on game 1 though. We'll see.
No, I meant like in rounds wise. They went almost I think it was almost 2.5 minutes without scoring that first goal. So that just also goes to show how good the ball control is for both of the teams. Keeping it off their side of the field, or even when it is on their side of the field, giving it away to where they're not in such a big pressure situation and they can just shoot it away and not get nervous, not make mistakes, and pressure those mistakes when they do happen.
Yeah, we'll have to see if that can be followed up by Humphreys, and so far, it seems like they're already blocking as many potential shots as possible. Kadena trying to set something up off the back wall, but every time they do it, the other team, Sen and Cosmic, are blocking it. They know exactly what they want to do, and they are trying their best to not let them accomplish it. Demo onto Sen does give them a potential opening here. King Kaiser sees it, Weth and New Soup, but they have to rotate back to be able to save the ball. Incredible flip there to prevent what could have been a very easy goal for Humphreys here. As both teams are looking for their potential openings, the back and forth begins, driving it up the wall around the goal. New Soup knows that there's something here and wants it, but Sen might not let him have it.
Sen might not let him have it, but Weth sure does take it when given the opportunity. King Kaiser battling Sen for control of this ball, but luckily it goes to Weth in the end. It is on Humphrey's side. Jukes one defender. It's right up there. New Soup manages to get the first goal of this round, turning the tables from the last one.
Yeah, we'll see if that sticks for long, though, with the way that everyone has been playing. But the fact that they were able to find the goal open is a great sign for Kadena. With a little less than 4 minutes left, though, it's anyone's game still. Going into the kickoff, we see that New Soup and Weth are the closest, but they are going to rotate back, noticing that this could be a potential setup for a goal here. Weth looking for an opportunity, tries to bounce it over Sen, but Sen takes it with a little bit of dribbling back and forth. King Kaiser just misses it, but the other team is going to be demoed twice. No, it happened again. At least it wasn't to Ethan like it was earlier. However, 3 minutes and 30 seconds, no one has made any progress on a new goal. Sen looking for that opportunity, going to try and bounce it off the back, but Weth doesn't let it get anywhere near.
In the end, they don't even have to go for another goal. As long as their defense is on point, they can pretty much just camp the boosts, play it a little bit slower, a little bit safer here, keep their boosts fully up, which will allow them to use it when needed, and it'll allow them to block goals like this, which Humphreys has shown that they have been able to get over and over again because of their teamwork. The other team trying to take it up, but blocked by New Soup. Cosmic Rocket League not quite able to get to it, but Sen is able to bump it away, disrupting the plans from Weth, and the other team is able to throw it back into the corner, quickly fetched by King Kaiser.
Weth looking to see if they're going to try and take a shot on goal, though the rest of his teammates are backing him up as they prepare to try and take another shot onto Humphreys here, bringing it up the back wall. They see there might be an opportunity, but Sen is going to launch it away, volleying it towards the other teams. This is a potential opening, but Sen is going to try and deny it. With it bouncing up and down in the air, there could be one just nasty aerial from any player here that could spell doom for the goal, but none of them have been able to set it up yet. And now reaching the 2 minute 20 second mark, and we haven't seen another goal yet. This could be dangerous. Oh, the other team manages to save it as Weth takes a shot. The ball is there. There's an open goal. Is other team going to be able to grab it?
Oh, that was...
Oh, what a timing for the resources to run out. With the demo there, Weth and other team being the only one there, there was no one to really be able to block it. And Kadena is able to get their second goal.
I'm surprised anyone was able to get to that ball at all. Everybody was running on empty, and that ball was so far in the air. I'm surprised that even a double jump would have been able to get you to it. New Soup taking the ball right to the corner, looking to recreate the magic that they just did. Cosmic and the other team are both on that ball, though. They're not looking for a repeat of the last goal there. Weth chasing the ball down. New Soup quick to defend. Sen is unable to find it here, and now it's in Weth's control.
Yeah, Weth trying to gain some control of the ball once again as it was taken from him, but the other team demos King Kaiser, making a potential opening for Humphreys here. As they go into the spawn, they're trying to get the ball, but they aren't able to. Kadena is just locking it down. A little bit of an overcommit there, but they don't want to lose any control right now. Great save from New Soup there, preventing what could have been a shot on goal. With Weth trying to set it up, Cosmic going forward, but going to shoot it right over his head. Going onto the backboard, this could be the combo, but New Soup isn't able to grab it. Weth brings it back. This could be it.
Just barely didn't have enough boost to quite get back there in time, but that would have been a great double tap in order to get that in. But in the end, Humphreys is still down 2-0. New Soup putting that pressure on this entire time. Weth and King Kaiser both able to find a little bit of boost to work with, but both of them are still incredibly low. Everybody is out of boost here because of the aerial plays being used. Weth and King Kaiser both trying to battle out for this ball in the corner, but nothing quite is coming out of it. The other team is just doing such a great job keeping it, but not good enough. Weth scores another goal for this round, deepening the hole Humphreys is in.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll be able to dig out of this one here, as the time limit is not lending to that. 25 seconds left, and with the amount of time it's taken for each goal, this is a tall order. New Soup trying to lock it out, potentially get another goal for Kadena here in the last 20 seconds. Bounces up into the air. This could be a potential shot, but instead King Kaiser is just going to go for the safer option, try to gain some control, bringing it into the air. This could end up being something. Cosmic sees it, 10 seconds left on the clock. Other team is denied, still on Humphrey's side. 4 seconds left. With that, it isn't going to really go to Humphreys here as the ball lands and Kadena takes the second game.
What a game it was, too. Looking at the shot clock, the total shots is around the same, but this time they were able to connect some of them by using a little bit more teamwork than what they had been using in the last round. I think going into this tournament, just looking at the brackets from some of the previous round robin play before this tournament, I feel like Humphreys was the team to beat in both Valorant and Rocket League. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Overwatch here. It's Valorant and Rocket League. But at the same time, they went into this game incredibly high on the leaderboards. In fact, I think they were at number 1, if I'm not mistaken. So they have been the team to beat this entire time. And if there's any team that is looking like they can do it, at least in Rocket League, Kadena is shaping up to be the team to topple the Titan.
And we'll have to see if that will continue or if the last is a fluke and Humphreys is going to tighten it up. Well, the Blackhawks and the Panthers are going to be able to duke it out right now and kind of set the precedence of who's going to get to match point first.
You know, if I was a betting man, I'd say it would be Kadena. We've seen throughout this entire game that their defense has only gotten better. The one goal did sneak by in the first game, and that was half of the way in. But not only did they go the rest of that game without letting a goal through, but they also went another 5 minutes without it by just mounting on the offensive pressure. And that's what they've been doing in almost all of their games that they've been playing. And that's where they found a lot of their success. Just always going in, going for the throat, and trying to prevent any sort of momentum from being gotten. But with that said, Sen is going to get the first capture, but Weth gets the ball off the crossbar. King Kaiser also off. New Soup with the commit, and the goal's wide open. The other team with a free shot on the goal, getting the first score of the match.
I think Humphreys heard that you thought Kadena might take this one and decided to explain once again why they took that first game so succinctly. And with that one goal under their belt, they might just go back to the defense play that they had before and lock Kadena out of the game. Let's see what happens here. Kickoff goes through. King Kaiser bringing it towards the goal, but the other team is able to intercept it here. It's in the air. He tries to bounce it away, throwing Weth off trajectory and sending it to Sen, who's going to bring it down to Kadena's side. Now bounces off the backboard. It might not really amount to anything, and they know that, but they are going to try and keep it on that area. Decide and stall with the dribble a little bit here. They see what New Soup wants to do, and they're just not going to let it happen as Weth tries to drive up the side, looking for some aerial play here, but Sen and the other team see him. He gets past the other team. Now it's just Sen. He is able to block it, but can he block King Kaiser?
King Kaiser manages to even it out 1-1. What a commit. The first time it didn't quite work out, but the second time is the charm. The other team not quite able to bump King Kaiser, instead blocking Sen away. And that's what's going to tie up this game. Just over 4 minutes to go. Weth's going to get the first touch on the ball, but it's ultimately going to fall on Kadena's side of the field. King Kaiser, though, with a full tank of boost, definitely does have the advantage here. And that's what I would say both of these teams have done a really good job at. Monopolizing the 100 boosts and knowing when to push the advantage. New Soup gets the ball right at his front doorstep. Cosmic and Sen both trying to go in, but both are knocked away. Weth gets up in the air, but not denying the other team an easy contest. King Kaiser also knocking it up past Cosmic Rocket League, but the other team is able to knock it away from the goal, which...
Oh, no, they don't! It's bouncing back!
The other team manages to get it away. New Soup almost getting it in, but the overcommit ends up pushing him away. King Kaiser and Weth both on pushing the advantage with their boosts full. New Soup coming in, keeping the ball on Humphreys' side, and now it's finally going towards Kadena. Can Humphreys make something out of this?
Cosmic does get demoed, but that doesn't seem to do much as Sen tries to take a shot on goal, but New Soup blocks it. But King Kaiser is not able to follow it up as Sen and the other team working together are able to get the ball into the goal, putting them back in the lead. Humphreys 2, Kadena 1.
Threading the needle between New Soup and Weth too. King Kaiser being far off, trying to pressure the other team's defense, or the other team as in Humphreys, not the other team as in the guy who got the assist. Weth trying to go in, punishing Sen, but Sen does get a pretty good shot on goal, blocked by the Kadena defense though. Great play out of them, and Sen does end up getting demoed. That's going to leave the goal pretty much wide open, but not if Cosmic has anything to say about it. He's keeping that ball right on Kadena's side, not giving them an ounce of room to work with.
Other team trying to bring the ball up the wall here, looks for an aerial shot, but it gets bounced off the backboard and deflected by Weth. Not able to get what he wants. Cosmic is going to try and follow it up, but New Soup once again deflect and disrupt, try to get it to the other side and volley. Sen tries to contest here. Cosmic watching the goal with the other team. He gets a demo onto New Soup, and New Soup isn't able to follow it up. There's no one there, and they can't get the goal immediately. The other team is able to clear it. King Kaiser is there. He doesn't want it to be lost. Now fighting it with New Soup, and
but the goal
is an open goal. Other team gets it, able to clear it, but now it's a question of who can get to the ball first to be able to follow that up. Sen is able to clear it, but New Soup is following behind. Cosmic watching that ball. King Kaiser, they want it. Kadena wants to get this score at 2 minutes left. They know they need this, but the other team, Sen and Cosmic, are blocking it.
Yeah, King Kaiser's going to end up taking this ball, but with no boost, the air dribble is off the table. New Soup and Weth both trying to get this ball in there. It's passed up right, but New Soup is blocked away by Sen. There was no getting to that ball for him. But with boost running low, they're going to have to back off a little bit. But same for the entirety of Humphreys. Now finally finding a way to get a little bit more boost. King Kaiser taking it up the wall, but contested by both Sen and the other team. Weth trying to keep it on their side of the field, but him and New Soup are going to clear it. Bounces off the top. Cosmic Rocket League able to play a lot of defense here. King Kaiser gets a shot on goal, but the other team is just in too good a spot to block it and is now trying to clear it, but New Soup is going to fight him every step of the way.
1 minute remaining, and Humphreys is still holding strong, 1 goal ahead. Weth trying to break that. King Kaiser looking for the follow-up. Cosmic is able to stop the ball, but they don't have a lot of room to work with. Sen helps with the clear. Other team coming in too. This is an any moment could cause doom. Cosmic somehow pulls it off, and New Soup sends it in. 2-2 at 40 seconds remaining. We might go into overtime here.
It's the double commit from Weth and Kaiser, followed up by the main attraction, New Soup, having some of the best ball control on this team. Ties it up with less than a minute to go.
2-2, 38 seconds on the clock. Other team looking for an opportunity here for Humphreys once they were able to be on the defense, but now they have to go back on offense if they want to be able to close this out before it ends. 30 seconds remaining. Both teams need this opportunity. Kadena is in a favorable position until the other team sends it right now. Both of them are there!
He's not giving he's not giving the other team any time to breathe with this one. Weth puts it up and knocks it straight in. Past Sen, past Cosmic. Not too much you can do in that situation, but now Humphreys has got to make something work.
I mean, 19 seconds remaining. Any game could end here with Kadena, but Humphreys has played off some impressive goals before. The issue is that Kadena seems to be on the offensive and is not giving room to breathe. 9 seconds left. Who's going to be able to do it? This will set a precedence. King Kaiser increasing the gap by 2 now. With that, Kadena has really squared away the game 2.
What a game 3 this has been for Kadena's second
game 3.
for their second win of the series. This will put them at match point. Humphreys has done a great job this game, and they honestly looked like they were going to run away with it at the beginning of this third round. But in the end, Kadena showed why they are so high in the rankings currently. And once again, looking at ball control and boost, you wouldn't quite get the full scope of this whole game, but this game was mostly played on Humphrey's side of the field.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, the amount of defense that they were doing and the crazy saves once again. Humphreys might be on the back foot right now, but kudos to those saves. They have been impressive and consistent, and that's what you really need if you want to be able to go forward. Now, they do need to be able to get the offense on, get the goals, but honestly, their strategy of getting a goal and then locking down the defense isn't a bad one. I mean, stalling out the timer is an important part of Rocket League because, yeah, making goals is good, but that leads to potential over-rotations, accidental commits, and a lot of that. And so the main thing really was just they got pulled off rotation a couple times, and really a lot of the goals for both teams have been due to resources. But as we're getting ready to see where we go with Kadena scoring a goal almost immediately there, we check in with Humphreys versus Kadena in Valorant, where it's actually fairly tied up right now, 5-5.
Yeah, looking at Valorant here, it looks like Reyna's going to be using her ult straight away just to start out this map. It's a very scary character, especially with ult powering up all of her abilities, which are already some of, in my opinion, the strongest in the game. The ability to heal yourself, to go invisible, blind multiple people at once just by having a stationary orb is an incredibly strong ability. And honestly, having a player that's really good at Reyna is insurmountable in this game. But also, I see Omen and Killjoy have their ults up on the same team as well, which means they have a lot of abilities to just lock down the site currently.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that goes later on. Checking back in with Rocket League, we can see that they are contesting for the ball in front of Kadena's side right now. Could be a dangerous position, but they are able to clear it. Not for long, though. It looks like Humphreys wants to set up a shot, but it's going to go straight back to Humphreys' side. The other team having to go there. Looks like we're just getting a volley back and forth right now. Not either team really finding the opening just yet, as they just keep sending it to the other side.
Cosmic Rocket League running out of boost, unfortunately. Not able to complete the air dribble, but Weth is able to take it away, but not before the other team battles out King Kaiser, stopping the ball right before the goal, right in Cosmic's hands. New Soup is able to take it away, but King Kaiser follows up. New is trying to stop the momentum for someone else to follow up, but Sen is going to fight him along with the other team. New Soup trying to engage, but the overcommit leaves the goal open, but King Kaiser right there for the save. It seems like he's always just where he needs to be for this entire game. And I'd imagine it's kind of frustrating. You got the ball right where you want it, and then boom, this guy just has barely enough boost to get there.
And we can see both teams still not able to make a dent right now. Sen looking to volley to Kadena's side, but they don't find any room with the Panthers here, who all were able to rotate back.
No,
There's a potentially open goal, but Cosmic saves it. Demo onto Cosmic, though, meaning that goal is open. Weth is looking for his opportunity, goes past Sen, and the other team who are holding onto that ball, they do not want to lose it here. As they go around, Cosmic tries to grab the ball, but King Kaiser sends it towards the goal. Now, once again, going into that volleying stage as we look for a potential opening here. King Kaiser wants to get that goal, but Cosmic isn't going to let him set it up immediately. Both of them kind of scrimmaging for the ball here as New Soup looks to set up an aerial and isn't able to get it to connect. 3 players from Humphrey, all of them on the goal. This is a dangerous spot, but they're able to save it just barely there.
Feels like every save in this game has been just barely bouncing around on the inside, right in front of the goal. If anything were to go wrong, we'd have so many more points on the board here. But at the same time, it just goes to show how well matched these two teams are for one another. The other team trying to score something here just can't really find anything in this volley. But it does look like we are still tied up on the Valorant game, heading adjacent with the same league. Both of these teams seem to be incredibly similar in their play styles as well as their skill gap.
Oh, also it looks like it is Yokota versus Edgren, not Kadena versus Humphreys. Would have been an amusing little parallel there, but instead it looks like those two are going to be tied up still 6-6. Looks like they might want to go down to the wire. Maybe our first overtime for Valorant? We'll have to see, as we are going to check in on what they're doing here. Reyna holding down the site with pistol. We are on pistol round right now, right after the swap, with both teams having to figure out what they want to do. Going through sewers here. They do see where Cypher is, but that is still revealing despite getting rid of it. Samurai Mac takes down Reaper. Brimstone down means less smoke, and the spike is going to be picked up. They've decided where they're going, and with Liam down, though, they are even in agent numbers.
Yeah, and taking out your duelist like Reyna is definitely really good, but taking out Cypher is unarguably better. There goes a ton of your information. But Reyna finding 2 on Fish before finally being taken out by Alyssa. This game is still even, but not for much longer, as Yakota wins it, planting the spike for good measure and just a little bit of extra money and ult charge on top of it.
So from what it seems, the back and forth may or may not be indicative of how this match will continue to go. Sure, we've seen Yakota take this point, but Edgar might come back from this, as so far we don't really know where they're standing. They have just begun the swap, which means they could have a preference for the side that they were on earlier. So we'll just have to see, will Edgren be able to continue forward, or is Yakota now going to be able to run away with it?
That is definitely the question on everybody's minds. Yakota definitely has a really good defensive, or has a good defensive composition, but having 2 Sentinels on attack is something that you don't see too often work out for people, but at the same time, it prevents players like the Reyna or the Jett from getting those really easy rotations around your core. But with Reyna right there with the Sheriff, it's not going to be Reyna, but it's going to be Pringles Can finding 1 on Cypher. There goes a lot of your area denial for attack. Alyssa's dad going to be planting the bomb here, and from the looks of things,
they don't see!
Liam and Alyssa's dad both finding kills, not quite evening it out, but increasing their lead. Lapsy finding 1 on the Reyna, but the recon bolt comes out, and we're gonna have to see the end of that as we move back to Rocket League, in which Kadena will take it all.
Yeah, Kadena getting a 3-0 in the final match, and as we were talking about, the stats haven't really changed, but overall they've slowly been able to overwhelm Humphreys, denying them the ability to take any shots, and ultimately winning them the game.
And honestly, that oppressive nature of Kadena was, I think, what allowed them to win in the end. They just kept piling on the pressure and just no breaks, no mercy, just let's keep go, go, go. And that's what I think allowed them to end up winning. But yeah, Yakota is also doing something a little bit similar in this round. The last 2 rounds that we watched have been incredibly quick. And then as fast as Valorant is with its round switching, being up 8-6 and having such decisive victories does a lot for both yours and your enemy mental, especially when Liam on the Reyna takes care of one of your only smoke players. All there is Jett left to provide cover for the defensive team as Yakota moves their way forward.
Alyssa's dad going in for the plant, and the interactions begin. With that, Edgren only has so much time, so they take out Alyssa's dad, but they go down 2-3 now, player count-wise. Moving through the smoke, they're going to have to be careful if they want to take someone out, but Sova goes down. With that, it is Killjoy versus Jett and Sova. Killjoy having to hold on for as long as they can if they want to be able to deny Spike. Using some of their util, they are able to keep it for now, but Lapsy is out. It's Fish versus Jett. This is the chance they have, and Jett is not able to get it, and with that, Killjoy gets the clutch.
What a clutch out of Killjoy, too. The attackers have the advantage there, especially where the point was. Killjoy had the advantage because there's so many different angles to hold there, and unfortunately for the B site, it's really hard to rotate around before that spike ends up going off. And having that nano grenade on spike 2, preventing a potential defuse, plus the sightline that pokes right onto where it's at, makes you basically need to push the defender, or in that case the attacker, who's defending the spike.
B-site on this map is one of the hardest to push, but they did a very good job with it, and they were very smart about how they handled it, allowing them to go forward. But as we get ready to go around, we see a very forward offensive push there from the defense there to gain some info as they check down the sewers and are able to see where people are. Recon drone is going to go out here as they check in on where they might be. Lear goes down. They know that there are people around as they dodge the paranoid from Omen. They now just have to wait it out and figure out where is Yakota going to go. Seems like they might be committing resources here. Now is all they have. Samurai Mac takes down the Cypher, takes down Lab Lapsy and Kumi getting 3 knockouts there, and the spike is planted. Edgren now needs to figure out how they can handle this retake, but it is 5 against 2 here with some really nasty setups. Vandal is going to be the prime weapon choices too for Yokota, who's been able to get their eco up, and so it will be a slow game. But they only have so much time with the spike. Moving through the smoke, Jet is able to get through the early point, but doesn't see Samurai Mac. Takes down the Cypher, and Brimstone goes down. Ace. With that, Samurai Mac is able to get an ace.
What an ace that was, too. Using the Jet as a little bit of bait, or actually, no, not the Jet. I'm sorry, the Reyna as a little bit of bait there to sort of make the enemy poke their heads out just a little bit more. Having that smoke in the checkpoint is a really good way to flush out the attackers, but as you saw with Samurai Mac there, it just ended up also kind of being a little bit of a hindrance to them. They didn't quite know where they would come out of the smoke, but also the defenders had no idea where they would be outside of it. That's kind of the double-edged sword you play with smoke, although it does tend to favor the guys who planted it.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, well, smokes are, it's a gamble either way, but overall, it really just depends on your intentions, and we saw there it worked out in their favor. As the recon goes out, they are able to get a little bit of an idea of where they're going. It looks like Yokota wants to push towards mid once again, throwing out the Leer. Leer is going to be thrown both ways. No one can see here as Kumi takes down Liam. Samurai Mac taking down Reaper here, and Samurai Mac taking down Kumi. Now going to have Alyssa's dad plant, with Mark taking out the Cypher, systematically taking down Edgren before they can truly do anything. And with that, Yokota is now 11-6, taking what was a seemingly back and forth for a constant while up to a now 5-point difference. Looks like attack really does favor Yokota here.
Yeah, from losing your Reyna in the very start to Samurai Mac going on a killing spree along with their Cypher, that was definitely not something that I had on my bingo card. Having the ability from Reyna just to throw out an orb, and anyone who looks at it is pretty much blinded until it's either broken or they die. It's an incredibly powerful ability, especially if your teammates can follow up on it, because it's essentially a flashbang that doesn't affect your team. But as I'm saying that, Liam does find one on Pringle's can. Kumi ends up throwing the Leer, but Cypher cages are going to make it a little bit harder to capitalize. Looks like Samurai Mac is going to end up finding the kill. Liam also getting one on Ice Reaper. And now that the spike is down, defenders are in a scramble. Liam, Lapsy finds one on Mark, the Cypher, meaning not very much information going through for the Yokota team. But at this point, does it really matter? Samurai Mac took the other Sova down to practically no health. Cypher is also treading the line of mortality himself.
He's not down for the count yet, using Leer to create some space. He is there, and he's going to be taken down by Liam. Spike is getting close. The time for retreat is now for Yokota. However, Cypher is going to try and move in. He's incredibly low on health. This might be the do or die moment, and Yokota realizes that, trying to get away, but it's going to be too late as the spike detonates, and the attackers will go to match point.
It was just a little bit too little, a little bit too late. Cypher was able to clear the point, but at what cost? The unfortunate thing about the spike is that even if you do get every single person on the attacking team, you still have to have enough time to defuse it. And you can still lose the game if it does end up going out. And that's kind of the risk you run trying to defuse. The timer for the spike doesn't pop up until after it's been defused a lot of the time. So you pretty much have to know by the beeps how much more time you have left for the spike. And that can be an incredibly risky gamble. But from the looks of things, Liam trying to take this middle sight line up towards the B point, and out goes the drone from Lapsy, able to spot 3. And now Yokota has to make a little bit of a decision. Do we keep moving the B side, or do we continue to push C? Drone goes out from the Sova on Yokota. Doesn't seem to find anybody, but Ice Reaper is throwing out all the smokes he's got and is ready to use the molly. Out comes Hunter's Fury. Is it going to find anyone? No, it doesn't. It does clip Jet, though. I wonder if that's going to come in handy just a little bit later.
Yeah, as the plant goes down by Samurai Mac onto B site, Edgren is going to have to look where they go. Shock Dart goes out but doesn't find anyone, and Samurai Mac is taken down. Reaper is done with getting knocked out by him and him destroying the rest of his team. Now, as they are sitting here getting ready for the retake, they're going to have to be very careful coming from all angles as Lapsy does take down Liam. This could be the end if they're not careful, and they know it. Closely moving in, Empress does get activated, as does Bladestorm. However, Alyssa's dad taking down Lapsy and Pringles Can means that right now, although Omen is the last person, there you have to be careful, and with that, they are going to get the defuse and hold out a little while longer. But their team opponents, Yokota, are still at match point.
It's definitely it's a sore spot to be in for sure, but definitely not an insurmountable one. If Eagerns can continue to do performances like that, what we just saw, it'll definitely put a little bit more spirit into this match here. Yokota has done a great job at suppressing this team of Eagerns, but they just shown what they are capable of if given the right tools. And honestly, I think they can keep this up. Brimstone, as a defender, especially on a choke point like B-site, can be incredibly dangerous to go up against.
And the round does begin as these teams decide where they're going to land and what the guess is going to be. So far, it seems like Yokota is debating Seaside, checking down C Long to see if it's a worthwhile attempt, while the rest of the teams are trying to determine where they go. Well, Edgren bringing down the smokes, knowing that C Long is their choice. As Recon Bolt goes out, Jet needs to back off so they aren't immediately seen. The Leer goes out and the Spike Carrier goes down. This could be a rough spot for Yokota if they're unable to recover the Spike, but luckily they are. Defense tries to move in as Reyna is able to get a kill and disappear with a spike planted. Now it's up to defense to try and turn this around, but there is one player left against two and he's unable to do it. And with that, Yokota is able to get to 13 points and take the match.
What a round out of Yokota. I was sitting there on the sidelines watching, and I watched it go from 6-6 to 7-7 all the way down to what it ended up being. And I thought for a second that Edgren was going to be able to bring it back there for a second, getting those back-to-back rounds. I thought they were going to be able to make something happen, get some momentum going.
I know, as soon as we started watching, we lost the back and forth and we went into the total, just all the way to the end. Though they were able to get 1 point at the end there, stall it out for one more time. But, you know, when your opponent is at 12 points and you're trying to stall, that is probably one of the most intense mind game parts of the match. Like, whenever I'm playing Valorant and I'm at 12 points, or at least my opponent is at 12 points.
Yeah.
It never feels good, because even though it's the same as every round, right? Like, you don't want them to get the next one. It just feels extra intense.
Yeah, and like in this situation, you have to play perfect. Like, there's no room for error, especially
no second chances.
No, there is not.
Yeah, and with that, they, you know, were able to get one perfect round in, but just ended up losing too many players in the round that ended up being the last one. And, you know, I thought that it was an interesting thing to see them go to C, but they were able to play it really well. And unfortunately for Edgren, they just didn't have enough players watching C Long to really capitalize on the movement that direction. But overall, it was a really nice thing to see that map. We haven't seen that map on stream yet. It's unique in the fact that it is the map that has 3 locations. And although we like to joke that B is the place where insane people go, I see people go to B all the time. And, you know, they end up having good time with it, and it seems to work out.
Yeah, I mean, point proven in this last match. I mean, we saw, what was it, 2 or 3 rounds where they went to B, and they were able to cover it fairly well. But, I mean,
we're going to swap from Valorant now, it seems, and go back into Rocket League. We've got another matchup to go, see how these teams are doing and where they might go. We've watched a little bit of both of them before. I don't know, have we seen Kubi yet today? I don't believe we have.
I don't think we've seen Kubi.
We saw a lot of Kubi yesterday. So Kubi is coming back against Daegu, who we did see earlier, to see who will come home with another victory under their belt.
Oh, and Kubi is up 2-1 in the series right now. This is the start of game 4.
Oh, look at that. I guess my lead up of who's going to come home with the victory might be a little bit sooner than we were expecting, but looks like Mr. Mixity doesn't want them to get the point immediately here. Kubi watching their goal. They'll want to be careful of Ember, Broccoli, and Brenar as they begin to move up. However, they are able to bring it to Daegu's side, looking for their opportunity here. Jay pops it up to the wall. not going to immediately be able to follow up on it, so he's going to dribble it into the air. Honestly, a good self-dribble right there, too, as Mr. Mixity also grabbing it. Just kind of gaining some control here, not wanting to go too crazy with it. They do take a shot on goal. It goes right there, and the opportunity to jump in presents itself, and they take it.
They sure do. When it goes up like that and just falls down in front of the net, it is some of the most stressful and dangerous positions you can be in, especially for a defense, when it's just in front of your net and you need to kind of get bodies up and try to make those saves. But for the side of Daegu, they just couldn't quite get there fast enough. And Kubi getting the first goal in this game 4.
Yeah, but it's going over to Daegu's side potentially here. They have to be careful. They don't want to immediately get another point scored on them. Bernard scores, and Jay able to follow it in once again. Wow, look at that. Yeah, pop it over the side there. With how few players were there, they had to be careful, and just unfortunately for Daegu, it rolled up the side and gave the perfect spot for Jay. Really didn't even have to do much, it just kind of rolled in.
This is one of those rare instances where we actually get to see the mechanic of backspin on the ball. Because, you know, it hit that lip on the corner, and it had that spinning momentum going up, and as soon as it hit the ground, it had that backspin to roll itself into the goal. But for right now, Kubi, they're still continuing on offense. Jay's gonna grab that mid boost and actually back off, let it come to his corner. Play it safe. Mr. Mixity controlling, trying to get it around 1. Broccoli making a good 50 there. Bernora getting bumped out, making it really awkward. Jay shot wide into the corner. Should be able to follow up, and it's going to be towards the midfield. Mr. Mixity going up for the pass, and he's going to get it. And Kubi are going to go up by 3.
Yeah, making short work of this game right now. 3-0. Daegu can make something of this, but it's getting harder with each and every shot on goal that goes through. With 3 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock, it's still anyone's game, but Kui really wants it to be theirs right now.
They really do, and by the looks of it, the overlay was updated. This is indeed game 1 of this best of 5. Kubi looking to take game 1, hopefully maybe getting that 2-1 or 2-0 like the overlays looked like earlier. Who knows, maybe the script got leaked.
That might be the prediction. We'll have to see if that goes to fruition, but so far, Jay gets another goal. And I do believe that was his hat trick there. Yes, it was. 4 points for Kubi right now. Daegu holding on, really not able to get any pressure onto the other side right now. Kind of just stuck on their side with defense. Not the spot you want to be, as we see Jay going up once again, trying to take a shot, and Evie trying to move in too, but there's nothing there for them yet. However, Bernori and Broccoli are not directly in front of the goal. They try to block it, but they have to be careful. A follow-up might go through. Jay and Mr. Mixity are there, but the goal is completely open. Ember gets gets demoed by Jay, kind of halting any attempt that they could have gotten onto an open goal that Kui left.
Right now, just going to hover in the midfield for a minute. Mr. Mixity continuing that offense. Jay with the demo and a shot on net. Mr. Mixity stays with the ball, tries to keep control, but instead he gets 50'd by Broccoli. It's going to be Jay sending it kind of on target, sending it there. It's going to hover in front of the net. Who's going to be there first? It's going to be Brenora. Sending it to the corner and keeping it out of their net. Daegu safe for another day, and another save by Brenora. They're doing an amazing job getting a savior medal for the road. Now approaching 2 minutes left. Kubi still up by 4. Maybe looking to get added by 5. Jay with a shot on net. It's going to be saved out. He's going to be sending it towards the net. And Bro sending it out. Nora sending it to the sidewall. Back and forth between these players, but Kubi, obviously the ones in charge right now.
Less than 2 minutes left on the clock, and Daegu has not been able to break through. And going for another shot, Kubi doesn't get it. The goal is open, and the ball is rolling that way, but they're able to use the boost to get back quickly. Broccoli tries to look for an opportunity. Brenora follows through. The ball goes up into the air. It's going to fall in front of the goal. This could be a follow-through moment, and Ember is able to. 4-1, 1 minute, 30 seconds on the clock. Really nice shot there, too. You can see that they try to bounce it away, and they take that opportunity to boost in, slide it right into the goal.
Yeah, they noticed that the defenders were awkward in that situation, not able to get the save, and just pushed forward and able to capitalize on their mistakes. And now it could be Jay's turn. Instead, he's going to leave it for Mr. Mixity, play that safe second man, and wait for the touch right to him. Saved out by Brenora. Still with a 4-1 scoreline and a minute left in the game encroaching. This is going to look like a Kubi Game 1 win.
We'll have to see. They still have some opportunities here. They just have to be careful. But the issue is for them, unfortunately, but fortunately for Kubi, they do have control of the ball right now. It is going to go to their side, but Jay is able to hang on. 1 minute remaining. It all comes down to this for Daegu if they want to try and get the goal and maybe get a little bit farther in game 1. Doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere. It's going to go in front of the goal. Jay tries to get it. He's not able to get it. Mixity follows through, but it's going to bounce off the backboard. The ball is just not set up where they want it to be. And so Ember is going to be able to move it away.
Oh, I thought that was going to be a goal for sure for Kubi, but it just bounced off that far right post and out. Now, maybe a counterattack opportunity for Daegu. 30 seconds remaining. They have one on the board, and maybe they can get one more for the road, but instead it's going to be Mr. Mixity with an open net.
And with that, 5-1, as you said, one for the road with 20 seconds on the clock. Not a lot to do, but once they left the goal open, and that was the perfect opportunity to get a shot on goal to go through. Now going into the next kickoff, this could be the last here. 5-1. As they begin, looking once again to Daegu's side. Jay popping it over the goal. They try to go for the follow-through trick they've been using plenty of times, but it doesn't end up working out. 5 seconds left on the clock. All that needs to happen is the ball needs to touch the ground. So just barely being saved by Daegu there, as Kubi is going to take the first game.
Them being the one overwhelmingly with the shots, Daegu only having one to their name, having to mainly save a lot of these shots that were targeted towards their goal, and in the end, I mean, they couldn't save them all.
Yeah, I mean, when you're taking so many shots on goal like that, and a lot of really tough angles too, it's hard, especially because they were kind of, you know, doing a waterfall. They were just waterfalling the ball down right over the goal. That's really hard to anticipate. I mean, you can see where the ball's gonna land, but as much as like Rocket League looks, you know, simple, driving those cars is a pain in the butt. So trying to actually get those precise movements in can be very hard when you're trying to get ball control. And so those waterfall tricks really work in those scenarios. I mean, I did try Rocket League one time and then I was like, never mind, because I struggled with the car so much.
Yeah, and then there's me with 1,200 hours in the game and plenty of time working on those specific mechanics, making sure to read those balls and how it falls like that. It is tough. It is a very interesting game in itself, being a physics-based with the ball and the cars, and there's so much you have to learn as a player. And for these players in particular, I mean, they're still learning the game. Everybody is.
And we can see that here too, as they've been, you know, progressing, and just the different way these matchups have been going for both of these teams. But Kubi and Daegu are getting ready to jump into their second game to see where this might go. Will Kubi be able to get themselves to match point, or is Daegu going to make this go to a game 4 potentially? Well, already we can see that Daegu is back to defense, probably the place they don't want to be, but a place they don't really get a choice in if Kubi is going to keep the pressure on here. Waterfalling the ball once again in front of the goal. They bounce it off the backboard. This could be the follow-up they need, but Mr. Mixity is not ready to go. And so Jay is going to have to try and grab it again. Not quite able to, and Broccoli and Brenora are able to drive it over to the other side, but Mixity intercepts. Oh, the goal is wide open. This could be a dangerous spot. Ember goes into block, but doesn't get there early. Oh, and with that, though, the goal doesn't go through. They're not able to connect. Gonna have to be careful here. This could be a potential shot on goal if they're not careful, and no one is in the goal. This is it. Mr. Mixity goes, but Ember with the save.
Oh, that was so close out of Mixity to get that shot on, but Ember with an amazing save, and this one might be an shot out of Jay going on in. 1 minute exactly off the clock, and 1 goal in.
That's kind of like perfect timing there. 1 minute, well, 1 goal, 4 minutes. We'll have to see if that trend continues, if we get the goal per minute. We did see that in the previous Rocket League game. But for now, Daegu needs to find something to get through. They need to find a strategy or just some momentum that can help them here, as Kubi has been able to get the ball to their side. Once again, Rocket League is going to send it, but Jay is going to intercept, not letting them roll it up the wall like they want to. Sending it into the air, he's able to start an aerial combo, but it's not quite aligned for where he'd want it to be. And going to have to recover on his boost if he wants to attempt something like that again. Mixity looking for his opportunity. Ember and Broccoli trying to find their opening. The goal is wide open. Mixity might be able to push it in. He's not able to, but Jay follows through. And that's going to be goal 2.
Right here, you can see all 3 defenders challenging the ball, and all 3 of them go flying by. Broccoli almost there in time to get the save, but Jay was just faster.
Yeah.
Kick off right up the bat. Maybe he just has to stay in goal. It's going to be shot on. It's going to be high. Good shot out of Broccoli. Mr. Mixity able to take control for just the moment. Jay taking it slow, wasting time, trying to get a flick over. Gets over 2 and now into the wall. Can get a flick out. Maybe a pass out to Mr. Mixity. No connection, but still a potential Kubi offense.
Yeah, Kubi gaining control of the ball once again. Jay looking for an opportunity here. Oh, Mr. Mixity joining in as well. Both of them looking for those openings. And Daegu trying to get it out of the field, sending it across the way. Might not work out though as they want it to. 2 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock. Kubi squarely in the lead with 2 points here. It's now or never for Daegu. They've had a couple good saves, but they really need to be able to take some shots on goal. Unfortunately for them, they are watching. Jay is ready, going to grab the ball and look for an opportunity here to pass to their team. Takes a shot on the goal, and with the follow-up, they're able to get another point.
What a pass out of Jay, able to get that one just above all the defenders, and Inivi following up for the assist, getting another goal for Kubi. 3-0 and approaching 2 minutes left. This could be it for game 2. Mr. Mixity taking it into the corner. It's going to be awkward. Bernora sending it back into the corner. Jay sending it mid for maybe a teammate. Mr. Mixity able to follow up, and this is going to be far corner and in.
Yeah, right there, once again, trying to get the block off, but just not quite grabbing the ball where they want to. And with that, Kubi is able to get a 4-point lead completely, with Daegu not being able to score at all yet. 2 minutes on the clock here. This is a great spot for Kubi and a very strong lead to have, and Daegu is not able to break through right now. Once again, getting on the defense. There is another one. Oh, Mixity coming in, but they're able to save. Broccoli able to grab it. Wow. Oh, another scary save that they're able to pull off. Daegu holding on here, looking for another opportunity. Ball goes through to the other goal right now. Kubi is on watch, though. They're able to get through.
Maybe taking control into the corner, maybe getting a few.
Oh, ball goes up.
Nora, it's going to go out towards mid. Mr. Mixity playing safe, playing it slow, and maybe trying to go for a bump. Mr. Mixity's going to turn on this, make a 50 into the corner. It might bounce mid, might be perfect. And it's going to be on target. Jay opts out of challenging this one and instead is going to play safe. Broccoli trying to take it into the Kubi half. But with under a minute left and 4-0 lead for Kubi, I'd probably say that'd be game. And that's going to be a 5th goal for Jay and a hat trick.
Oh, nice feeling there to get that goal. Way bounce it off too. Didn't even really need to have to do any tricks passing. Just able to get a nice clean shot into the goal. 48 seconds left on the clock. Daegu not. Once again, we're at the kickoff. Daegu, unfortunately, has the ball go straight to their side, and Mixity looks for an opportunity on the goal. Brenora tries to go up to grab it and isn't able to.
This game is just getting away from them right now. They need to go to the next kickoff and just focus on holding them, holding Kubi to the last 43 seconds and try not to let any more go into the back of their net. should be their biggest goal, and then having that mental reset in between games is what they're going to want to focus on going into Game 3.
Yeah, 36 seconds on the clock. Kubi doesn't really need to worry about trying to line up this game right now. Daegu has to see if they can get anything, maybe a goal, or just really hold on. Don't want to get another point. Like you said, the mental game is key here, as all the the cars are scrimmaging right now, looking for their opportunities and their openings. Ember looking for the ball, sees Mr. Mixity is going to try and bring it down the line. Broccoli grabbing, 10 seconds remaining, going in front of Daegu's goal once again. They need to be careful here, 4 seconds left. Just need the ball to touch the ground and they'll be able to secure it for Kubi Game 2.
And a very convincing win once again. This time, Daegu only getting 2 shots on net, 3 saves overall. Kubi just being that much more dominant on the field.
Yeah, I will say though, where they got their shots, if you saw on the diagram, were really interesting angles. So I will say the fact that they were able to get an attempted shot from like essentially the back corner away from the goal, very impressive to be able to pull that off. Just unfortunately not enough for Daegu yet if they want to be able to take this, as now Kubi does have them on the ropes. This is match point.
Match point, and where all the marbles are going to fall. Daegu, they need to get a game plan going. They need to take their minute and really think about how they're going to approach this Kubi squad and try to get some goals off of them, try to whittle them down, make sure in some way, shape, or form that they can win this third game.
Getting ready to go into this game. Could be the determiner for them going forward. Here we go. What will it be? Will this be Kubi's final game, able to bring it to match point, or will Daegu be able to wrestle it away from them? Let's see with the kickoff here. Goes straight to Daegu's side. They're going to be put on the defense unless they can volley this ball away. Mixity doesn't want to let that happen, but they're not immediately able to get any control on the ball as Broccoli sends it.
Now it's going to be Jay missing that one, but Inivi waiting there on the back line. It's going to go crossbar down and out. Not quite a goal for Daegu, but an opportunity nonetheless, and a great start for them. And a good bump on Mr. Mixity. He's going to buy them enough time to rotate back and cover their net, except for the moment. Mr. Mixity getting a shot off, but saved by Broccoli. Jay following up next, taking to the wall. They go up and get a flip towards net. It's going to be wide, just barely. They're going to need to get it out right now, and Daegu does. And still, almost a minute in, we have 0-0.
Yeah, focusing on the defense, not wanting to give anything up. Daegu is able to keep the ball away, but the goal is open, and they're going to be able to drive it in. Kubi taking the first point.
What a good start right here. Just beating out Ember in terms of speed. Renor not having any boost to rotate back. And an open net leads to Kubi getting the first goal. Onto the kickoff. It's going to be in favor of Mr. Mixity. Jay might be able to follow up in this one. Instead, it's going to be Mr. Mixity all by himself down to the bottom corner. Follow up by Jay. And a quick 2-0 lead for Kubi.
Yeah, once again, starting to put on the pressure and creating a gap for the points here. Daegu has really never been able to get a break. They have been on constant defense throughout all these matches that we've been watching, and that has not been something that they've really been able to let go of, which means they're just slowly getting tired out of that. That's going to be rough on morale, and we can see it here. They are trying their best to figure it out, but Kubi has been able to continue to get goals on them. They're doing their best and getting some incredible saves, but something has to give. Jay tries to grab the ball. Mixity is also trying to go for that with the dribbles going through, trying to get over Broccoli, but Broccoli is holding on, trying to disrupt as they can, with their two teammates backing them up on the goal here. Ball going to go up from the top. As we see, Mixity tries to go through, waterfalls the ball. There might be a follow through. Jay is not able to get it through, but they do have an opportunity. They did get that potential shot on goal. Ember going to go wide. Broccoli is the only one in the back. They might be able to pop it up. Jay is looking for that opportunity. They see that the ball might be there and able to pop it in, getting a third goal for Kubi.
Getting a beat out here, just playing so slow, and then Bernora couldn't get the touch on, just keep it in the corner. Jay able to get the third one for Kubi, putting them even more so in the lead. Now approaching 3 minutes left. And with 2 minutes now elapsed, in the sake of Daegu's chances, they're slipping away.
There's still 3 minutes left. There's anything that could go here, but Mixity is going to try and make it a little bit harder, taking another shot on goal, not quite lining up the way they would want it to. Ember, Brenora, and Broccoli having to watch for that ball. Brenora getting the save here. Going to follow through and bring it into the air, getting it past Mr. Mixity, but not having the momentum to continue forward here. Ember at 0 boost, not able to back up the team right now as we go for another potential shot on the goal. Kubi is not letting up. Daegu is holding on just barely here. They are able to get some good saves, but once again, something has to give, and right now it seems to be Daegu.
It does, and as time keeps going, almost another shot on by Mr. Mixity, just wide to the side wall. Nora trying to get it out.
Oh, demo on Ember.
It's demoed. Jay, though, taking it to the sidewall and up. It's going to be awkward for Bernard to try and save. Jay on target wide. Maybe a follow-up
by the side. Oh.
Mr. Mixity with the 50. It's going to be wide again into the corner where Jay lurks. Trying to get another one towards the midfield, trying to get a pass out to teammates. And I like what Kubi's doing right now. I feel like a lot of their goals have just been passes to the midfield and passes to each other, but this one is going to be Mr. Mixity all by himself, getting that one in and adding another onto the Kubi scoreline.
Yeah, 4 goals with a minute left. Kubi very much locking in their points for this matchup. Daegu has not been able to crack the code here, and they're going to have to do their best to see if they can do anything in this last little minute. But it looks like Kubi is going to be able to get another point in their total, 5-0 right now.
I think that one was just a right place, right time, and Nivi was on the Daegu half and grabbed the corner as well. And after, I think it was Mr. Mixity who was able to get it past those defenders, and Nivi was just able to capitalize on that and get that 5th goal in. Now it's gonna be Mr. Mixity pinching it down, waterfall. No one immediately able to challenge it. Jay making that next 50. It's gonna hover in the midfield for just a moment before Mr. Mixity gets a touch. Jay into the corner, pass wide. Almost a 6th for Kubi. They are thriving right now. Closing in on 60 seconds remaining. Kubi in very good position to win this one in a sweep.
And with that, we've hit 1 minute remaining. 5-0, demo onto Broccoli, opening up the field a little bit. Not for long, and not something that they can capitalize on, as it looks like Daegu is going to try and take a shot on goal, but it is going to be blocked. All 3 members of Kubi were there and waiting. However, the goal seems to be open for Daegu. Mr. Mixity notices that. Are they going to be able to block it? They are able to deflect the ball, but for how long is it still there? Ember, Benora, and Broccoli all here trying their best to keep it out of the way. 30 seconds remaining. Well, all they can do now really is just try to keep it away, but Jay, gaining their hat trick, is going to take another goal.
That team bump right there on the goal line. Jay able to send another one in for Kubi. We keep going. 25 seconds left. Mr. Mixity sending another one on target, and it's going to be in for a 7th. Kubi are just running away with it.
Yeah, I mean, good shot on goal there. Unfortunately, 2 players just were a little too far back to be able to jump in and do much. And with that, it's going to be a 7-0 going into 20 seconds at this point.
Broccoli trying to get an attempt, getting to 50. Renora having to backflip on this one, maybe getting a shot off. Jay flying by that one, and Bernora's going to take it to the sidewall. 5 seconds left. And Kubi walking away with a sweep on the day, maybe an 8th for the end. No, crossbar down.
Man, that was pretty close to an 8-0, but taking a look at the total shot percentage, 93-7. Wow, they had a dominant showing in this last round especially.
Oh, this whole game for Kubi was just dominant by any means.
Yeah, I feel like Daegu really struggled to get off of the defensive side of things. They did a lot of really good work trying to play a little bit more defensive. They did a lot of defensive play. I mean, they kind of had to.
Yeah.
But they really just struggled to take advantage of some of the weaknesses that Daegu had, or that Kubi had. A lot of the time, they'd miss their passes, which are a prime opportunity to get out of the almost spawn hold that kind of comes with being stuck on defense. And that's where you really need to take it off of defense, put your foot on the pedal, and go straight for offense.
Yeah. One thing I would have liked to see more of in that series, especially on the side of Daegu, would have been like more bumps and demos. Because I feel like if they could have capitalized more on that, they could have opened up a lot more opportunities and made that a bit closer of a series.
Yeah, we saw a ton of bumps. We saw a lot of demos. We saw just a ton of disruption in general on the side of Kubi, and that's what I think gave them a really big advantage over teams that don't really want to use that or just don't know how to use it very effectively. We saw it a few times on the few times that that Kubi was actually forced onto defense. They would just bump or they'd demo and just get right back to playing offense where they like it.
Yeah, they were very fast and efficient, not wasting any time between bumps, demos, disruptions, or even just transferring between defense and offense. They were just very quick with it.
Yeah, but since Rocket League is over, I believe our next thing we're going into is a Valorant game. With Kubi, once again, going up against Humphreys. We're very familiar with both of these teams, especially in Rocket League, but I believe this is the first time we'll see them be going up against each other in Valorant. So it'll be interesting to see, because we've seen how good the Eagrins are at Valorant as well. They played a really spectacular game in the last one that we watched, and I think that they have a chance to really bring it home. And we've also seen Kubi, I think it was against Kinnick earlier today as well. We saw them play, and there was a lot of back and forth in both of those games. So I feel like this game is going to be very well matched for both of these teams.
I would agree, and I also feel like, you know, going into this next one, going into these round 4, round 5 matches, it's going to get really close and really determinant on what's going to happen for the rest of the day.
So it looks like we are actually going to be going into a Rocket League game. That's Humphreys versus Zama before we end up going into Valorant for the. And I think that will be our fifth. This will be our fifth Rocket League game.
Yeah, I think that might be right. 5th Valorant game. But who doesn't love more Rocket League?
That is true. Rocket League is always fun to watch. And also, we've seen a ton of different strategies throughout the entire Rocket League for both days. We've seen the more defensive teams playing their games, getting a few goals here and there.
Yep.
But honestly, some of the most fun games were the ones that were super offensively challenging for both teams. Every single time they'd go through, it would just be back and forth the entire time. A bunch of different mechanics were being brought out that we hadn't really seen a ton of before. And if we had seen them, not to the same quality as when two teams of that high skill caliber go up against one another. And I hope that we get to see a little bit more of it in the grand finals, and it is something that we need to watch out for a little bit.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one going into it. I think we watched Humphreys a little earlier on today, so being able to see them again on stream, we're going to be able to see how they've improved from their previous game and how they're going to approach this one.
Yeah, because strategy going into Rocket League changes so frequently. It changes from round to round. It changes from play to play. It honestly can change.
Milliseconds.
Yeah, just like that in response. And no plan goes all the way through. Every single plan, no matter how great, falls through. And in Rocket League, you kind of got to be able to roll with the punches a little bit. Sure, your defensive strategy didn't work. They scored a point on you.
Yeah.
How are you going to even that out and even get a point ahead? That's where it matters most in Rocket League. And also, it can be said the same thing about Valorant as well. How are you going to recover from that loss? How are you going to keep your mental state strong so going into the next round you can not only even it up, but pull yourself ahead in both economy and in points as well?
Yeah, and I feel like for Valorant, it's when it comes down to strategy, like you can think about it in a very broad range, like, all right, how do we want to approach covering the 2 sites or even 3 sites in some cases? How do we want to cover those? How do we want to attack? How do we want to defend? Like, there's so many things that could happen, but in Rocket League, when it comes down to strategy, in between games, all you can really think about are the big things that you can change. Okay, do we want to up our demos? Do we want to try and up our passing? Like, what can we do differently? And in the midst of the game, it's all millisecond split decisions when it comes down to it, because you can't expect a Rocket League game to go as you please, because there's 6 players on the field and it's just constant for 5 minutes.
But here we go, and it's into Valorant. I was right the first time. We're not going into Rocket League quite yet, but this will be our 4th Valorant game of the night, and this is shaping up to be a good one. These are 2 teams that did unfortunately lose some of their previous games during the night, but at the same time, they put up a great fight against their respective teams. And I feel like that sets them in somewhat of a similar caliber to one another. They both played their hearts out. They had similar strengths and weaknesses. So we're going to have to see how these strengths and weaknesses play to one another to create what should be one of the best Valorant matches of the night.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, high expectations all around, and I'm curious to see what kind of comps are going to come out from these 2 teams, see what kind of agents we're going to see. Maybe something different, maybe something, what do we got? A Neon, Gecko, Sky, Omen, Cypher on the side of Kadena. And we got a Brim, Cypher, Jet, and a Raze and a Sky as well.
Sky on the side of Guam. Definitely one of the, you would expect a Raze here, because this is technically Raze's map.
We have seen Raze a lot on this map.
That you can get with concussion packs, so much high ground to take that just so many other characters can't get. Maybe with the exception of Neon, just because of how fast she is.
Yeah.
But I'd also say that is a really big stretch to try and play that with Neon.
Ooh, this is gonna get rough.
Kill on to Zentex. Mosh comes out, and so does the Molotov, preventing the rotation through the Cypher cage. But Odo Sound Radio is going to find a kill on LJ. Dom and Mads both finding kills of their own. Dom finding a 3rd, and to end it off, Mads is going to get another one, allowing plenty of time to take the spike back.
Plenty of time, and Dom and Mads really tag team in that round. Actually getting a 2nd one for them. We had missed the 1st round.
Yeah, currently up 2-0. That puts Kadena at a pretty decent advantage when it comes to economy. They're not quite ready to go full rifles yet, but I bet they're getting really close. You can see Neon currently rocking the Sheriff and the SMG, which honestly, on a character like Neon who can get so close so fast, the SMG is actually kind of a valid gun to use, even if you are starting to get towards those rifle rounds. The SMG is the one gun in this game that isn't always a one-shot headshot. If you're close enough, it always will be.
Yeah.
But depending on how far away, the damage fall-off starts to kick in, and it can make things a little bit awkward. Omen and Neon both holding the side there. Sky trying to flash the corner. Knows that there are people there, but out goes the stun out of Neon.
Watch out of the smoke. There's one.
But it doesn't end up saving her from the headshot from Mads.
Omen and Sky kind of fighting it there while everybody else is fighting through the window. And it comes down to a 2v4. Brim and Sky, all that remains. Now it's just Sky in the corridor. Who's it going to be? Gets Dom in the process. Has to avoid the flash. It has Spike, but she has to be very careful in this situation.
Out goes Mosh, the funniest little guy.
Gets Gecko.
Kill on Gecko. That is
now it's
not,
1v2.
That is not a great outcome if you are Kadena. Basically, all you have to do is sit there and try to push this point. But at the same time, Guam doesn't have to push. They can take this round as a loss. And with that kill on Gecko, that is a pretty significant gun upgrade. But it does look like they're going to be rotating out to A since both defenders are currently on B.
Kind of trying to play it out the fake rotation here. Omen saw. So now it's just an Omen versus Sky moment here. Because Sky's all the way on the other end, but Omen wins that battle.
What a shot out of Omen, though. Just taking the dome off her from behind the crate. I don't think you could ask for a more textbook definition on how to play B point.
Seriously, and if Omen would have lost that battle, then Sky for Kadena would have had to rotate all the way back to B side after Guam was able to get the spike down, and who knows what could have happened there, but Kadena going up 3-0 right now. And our first ult coming out on the side of Kadena, we have Omen ready to use it.
Yeah, Omen isn't exactly a fight-winning ultimate, but it can secure you a few pretty easy kills. And it can turn the tables of an otherwise hopeless game. But Cerulean Knight is going to turn the tide all on his own, taking out ZTG the Gamer. which is Gecko, one of the few real controlling players on this map with his blind. I guess you do still have Cypher for a little bit of intel gathering, but now they're pretty much being boxed in like a fish.
Zenlek's got Dom.
Is going to find one on Dom. Kion Tech is going to find one on Din Tai Fung. And these teams are still relatively even, but Guam having the numbers advantage.
Very much so. Kind of a trade there between Omen and Sky.
Oh, gets the kill on Cerulean, but at what cost?
A Guam round win is the cost for that one. But now bringing the gap down to 2 rounds. Guam also on the board now.
Yeah, Guam was also able to salvage quite a few really good guns out of the Vandal and the Phantom here. They did end up going down to 3 players, but at the same time, or actually no, they got down to 2 players because Raze did go down here. But that's still 2 fairly expensive guns for no cost on their part, leaving a lot of money to arm the rest of the team, get them abilities, and just overall have a better fighting chance at this next round. But it does look like they're going to continue to rotate up B long towards that hotel area. And it looks like Neon is right there to try to counter it, but it does look like the Hunter does go out, finds the Neon, and they know where they are now.
Indeed, it's going to be fast and furious right here. You see Cypher in the tunnel.
Oh, Cypher!
Oh, outside of the tunnel instead.
Death
You got Sky around the corner. Blinded by the smokes. Omen putting out smokes of his own. Blinds. But the whole team of Guam on site. Sky falling to Sun Tzu through the smoke. Jet getting domed by Dom. Now it's going to be Jet and Omen trying to push the site. But Amali stops them and forces them to push back. And Zanetex is actually going to get 2 Mads and Doms, both. Now it's up to Gecko.
Yeah, 2 headshots is going to stop you a lot faster than a Molly can. But at the same time, Brimstone is still just holding this angle. He does not want anyone from Kadena to get through. And it's going to force Gecko to the other side where the rest of Guam is waiting. Dizzy does come out, but I think it's going to be a little bit too late for anything to happen as the spike goes off. Guam puts their 2nd point on the map.
Much better round out of them. Now putting it down to 1 round, and they're playing a lot better right now, eliminating players as fast as they can and just making sure to capture site.
Yeah, the difficult thing that Kadena keeps running into is that the entirety of Guam isn't trying to fake out, go one side then to the next. They keep just putting all this pressure on one side, and they just haven't really been able to find a way around it. Now, from the looks of things, Guam has a significant economy advantage here, all of them having their preferred gun and what looks like the Vandal, unless, you know, maybe one of them likes to run the Operator and they just couldn't quite scrape together the funds. But at the same time, that may not be what you need. Sometimes all you need is a good old-fashioned assault rifle. Dizzy does come out, doesn't quite find anybody.
A lot of smokes.
Come out. Raze goes up, but quickly goes down. And but not before taking out CJT the Gamer with the showstopper. It is currently 3-4. Guam gets the spike planted, and now it's going to be an uphill battle. Dom getting the kill on Ovo Sound Radio.
Wallbang's right here.
Omen does go down, and now it is up to
Sky
and the Neon, but Sky doesn't see the other Sky. Sky on Sky violence, leaving Guam with 3 points on the table.
I almost wasn't sure if Dom was going to resort to using their ult at that moment, having it in their back pocket. They didn't, though, and Guam is going to tie it up 3-3.
Yeah, Dom could have almost had that too, but at the same time, having a wall bang from Zentex is nothing that you want to see, especially this late in the game. Then immediately turning around and killing your Sky too, which has a ton of your utility, your flashes, your heals. Or at least when the amount of players that were dead that are currently in the game now. But Here we go, round 7. This is the time to turn it around for
Neon already ready.
Everything is dialed up. The shotgun comes out, but it's not enough. One well-placed headshot is all Cerulean needs to get the kill on Neon. And there we go. Kadena already down a player. And we are an even 15 seconds in. ZJT, though, quick to trade it out. And out comes Thrash. Ready for the concuss. Doesn't quite find anyone, but does force 2 off. But it's not going to force Ovo Sound Radio 1 bit back.
No, it's not. Down to a 4v3. Everybody's on site. There's Ovo getting 2 of them. Getting 60 in Chemio. Now Mad's the only one left. No one near him, but smoke's going down. Cover's blown. I wonder who knows if he's in heaven.
using a little bit of the smoke as a cover to try and wrap around. But a 1v4 scenario is not hard even for the best players in the game. I honestly think that if you put the best player in the game against 5 people who've never played this game before in a 1v5, I still think the 5 guys who have never played have a better shot at winning, because that's just way more angles that you can cover. And even if you have worse guns, having 4 guns trained on you at the same time where any shot could mean your doom, it is just so hard to push these points. The attackers do end up winning, but Mads is going to make sure Cerulean does not take that gun or their gadgets into the next round, forcing a little bit more money spent.
Very true. Unfortunate use of that Thrash not being able to get anybody, and then Ovo coming in, getting him out of the equation, putting Guam up by 1 now, gaining the lead, first of the game.
Ovo just seems to be a really big problem that Kadena hasn't quite figured out how to handle yet. Every time he has a sightline on somebody, they're just gone. Their head is gone. It's nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
It's just taken right off.
Yeah.
And we've seen that several times now, either in really big ultimates or just at regular old team fights in closing, especially in that showers during the last one. Tons of Cypher cages go out. Both the concussion packs from Raze trying to get into the back line, but nobody's there. But Ovo is starting to get the
there's one.
Does end up finding one on
Most of the
60
team
Hertz.
wiped.
And now it is once again up to Mads and Neon trying to find a way to get onto this point.
Oh, they get Ovo. There goes Ovo, the problem.
There goes the problem, and he's going to find another
Typhoon.
one on Jet. They're taking care of problems, but Cerulean is going to find one on Dom before anything can happen, really.
They have to be careful
Out goes the
here.
grenade from Raze, and Cerulean quick to finish it off.
That one's tough with as many players as there are just surrounding you. Even when you're in that kind of corner, it can be rough.
Yeah, even with full ult, it's incredibly hard to go up against this, especially in that choke point right there. Cerulean just had a perfect shot between where that barrier went up and where they could see, plus the grenades going down for a little bit of added suspense. That is not a very enviable spot for anybody.
Absolutely not. But the other thing to note is that we haven't really seen that many ults come out. We still have 6 on the table, 3 on each side, and I'm curious to see if any will come out this round.
We did see Sky Ultimate come out last time, but didn't really do all too much in the grand scheme of things. Guam was pretty much able to take care of business as is, but the op does come out on Jet. That is a one-shot kill just about anywhere.
Oh, there's one!
The Sky, not for very much longer though. Cerulean Knight also finding one on Mads as well. And now Neon has to find a way through, but with Neural Theft going through from Guam, they know exactly where they're going to come out.
And with Neon and Cypher, all that's left. Oh, there's another one!
And the operator to finish out the round.
Able to keep that one in their back pocket. Tai Fong doing a great job this round. And Guam also able to add another ult to their arsenal. I believe it was Sky able to get enough points.
I think, or did Jet have her ultimate at the beginning there?
I think Jet's had her ultimate.
Oh no, it was Raze who gained her ultimate for that.
It was
one.
Raze?
Yeah,
oh,
she has Showstopper now.
Yeah,
because that was
that
2
could be
rounds ago
huge.
that she ended up using it, finding a kill, or trading a kill with the Gecko from the side of Kadena. But at the same time, Showstopper is such a powerful ability, you can kind of stand to trade as long as you make enough of a distraction for your teammates. Mads tries to take the fight. He does end up getting Sky, or not Sky, Jet.
Here comes that Showstopper.
Out comes out Showstopper.
Maybe one
On ZJT. He cannot find a way around.
Let's get
it.
Cypher.
He manages to get the kill, but Sky does, or Raze doesn't have the op. That's not the one that you're looking for there. But out goes
Sky
the dog,
doesn't see.
and Sky finds.
Was that a collateral?
Collateral. I think so. Ooh, out goes the Neon trying to find something, but Sky with the 3rd kill of the round, taking this for Guam pretty handily. Round 10 goes to Guam. 2 more rounds left before the swap, and a lot more ultimates left to be seen.
Very much so, and I feel like if I had a nickel for every collateral I've seen in this tournament, I think I'd have 3 nickels.
Which isn't a lot, but it's weird it happened thrice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Regardless, though, great gameplay coming out of Guam to take the lead pretty convincingly, up by 4 rounds. Kadena not able to get another round since they got that 3rd.
Yeah, they just needed a few rounds to kind of get their bearings, get their heads in the game here.
A little bit of a warm-up.
Yeah, a bit of a warm-up round. Mad's still taking that off angle with the Sheriff, looking to teleport away just to get out of sight and kind of make a little bit more space for himself. He does end up finding Sun Tzu, though. Ray's jumping in.
Ooh, Cerulean getting another one. Maybe getting Neon. Neon's using her ult, though.
Neon does use her ult, the current, but
Seeker's going out.
Ray's immediately goes down, though. Omen left on such little health, nothing really can save him. Ovo Sound Radio.
Blinded, still able to get the spike. Kadena. There's Cypher, the only one left. Sky in their face, getting it. Just through the wall, not able to see anything of what's going to happen.
The 1-2 punch from behind catches even the best off guard.
Indeed. We're going to take a quick peek at this round prior as well.
Yeah,
You saw that
Cypher.
Stopper come out, get Gecko, and Cypher kind of getting that revenge trade.
I think this was the round before. This was the
Yeah,
collateral.
I was saying with the round prior, yeah.
That was quite the collateral. In fact, I actually didn't know you could collateral with assault rifles. I knew you could do it with the marshal and the operator, but I had no idea you could do it with vandals.
Can you
But
do
I
it with
guess
Outlaw?
I think you actually. I don't know. I assume you'd be able to because it's worth a little bit more than Bucky.
Potentially.
But yeah,
'Cause
I
Outlaw-
guess if a
Outlaw's
vandal
that
could do
other-
it. Or yeah, the outlaw.
Yeah.
But like, at the same time, you just don't really think about it. 60 Hertz does find one in Cerulean Knight, but not.
Cypher's the only one left right now.
Yeah, Cypher. Man, poor Cypher keeps being the last one alive in every single engagement. So much pressure.
And everybody's just going to rush him for that.
Yeah, just
not able
put
to
on
get
the
anybody.
Spot over and over. Jet ult does come out, but this is the final round. Swap does go out, and it looks like it's going to be Kadena on attack, Guam on defense. Let's see if Guam can recreate the magic.
See if they can keep up the momentum through this, even though they have to swap sides. But we are going to take a peek into the Humphrey versus Zama match we alluded to earlier before we hopped into this Valorant game. And right now it's game one with Humphrey up by 1 and almost 2. That one gets saved out by Ashy Wolf, able to keep it in the corner and safe. Sen pinching it across net. The other team trying to reach this one, but no contact.
Humphrey's pretty much coming off a loss in their last game after a really hard-fought battle. I bet they're looking for a little bit of redemption here. Dom tries
right off
to
the
go for it,
crossbar.
but luckily it goes off the crossbar, and Ashy Wolf is able to get the save, or the other team is able to shoot at Ashy Wolf with the save twice over. Cosmic being bumped away, meaning that we're going to have to wait just a little bit to see the outcome of that match. But I feel
Just
like
a
it's
little
gonna be a good
bit.
one.
Could be, but right now all we've seen so far is a trade, all 4 of them in showers.
But Raze doesn't have her concussion grenades or her throwable grenade as well.
Really doesn't have anything for utilities.
Yeah, used up all the utilities in the beginning or just kind of traded them out for the better gun. Ghost tends to be the preferred gun of choice for a lot of players. And honestly, I can't really blame them. It's my personal favorite pistol to use. It's silenced, it's a little bit easy to use. And the Sheriff, it's very fun, very rewarding. But it doesn't matter
and
when you get
there's
to shoot
Matt.
super fast. Mad's getting the first kill on Cerulean Knight.
Very quick kill here. Maybe Ovo able to get 1 or 2. He's got a good advantage through heaven. But those wall blocking the way. He saw Sky for just a moment.
He knows he's there and still has a few smokes to work with here.
There's
Jet
one.
also has a dash to work with, but out goes Sun Tzu.
There's one to trade.
Ovo
Maybe get
coming
Neon
out, but
or Cypher. Oh, he got a tap on Cypher.
he doesn't get the kill, but he gets a
Maybe
lot of
there,
damage, and
no.
there we go. Kadena finds their first win in quite a while. This could be the comeback. They call it the 9-4 curse. It's either 9-4 or 9-5. Once they reach that stat line, there is a good chance that a reverse sweep is about to happen.
Interesting. Never heard of that. Well, I guess you learn something new every
To be
day.
honest, I figured that out today in a game of Valorant that I was playing. Somebody said it, and I was like, "What's that?" And they said that it came from one of the Valorant, like one of the professional Valorant leagues, because there
The
was a team
BCS.
down, 9-5, swept.
Interesting.
Yeah,
It's like a Brazilian Rocket League.
yeah, it's almost like a Brazil, and it just goes to show you can never truly count a team out, no matter how far they are down, because in the end, while it's pretty easy to get one win when you're on 12, there's still the chance at people coming back.
Yeah, like me and Audrey were talking about earlier, you just have to play so perfect when you're at that 12 round point.
And I'm also going to kind of mimic Audrey as well, saying that it does feel a little bit different because there's a lot more at stake here. Cerulean Knight does find one.
Ooh, what a trade, back and forth all over the place.
Is looking a lot stronger on the offense
Wow.
than they have been. Sky is the only one left, and with only a sniper, it's going to be a little bit harder to find the kill.
Couldn't get one.
Can't seem to find the one. Mads is able to close it out. Kadena up 5, or brings themselves up to 5 to 9.
Maybe you just spoken into existence, that 9-4 curse. And Kadena are able to get one round back, and having Sky only left with an operator is not the best position to be in for her.
I don't think they were quite an operator, but a marshal is no better.
No.
Yeah, I mean, you might have 5 in the chamber, but you need to hit all 5 of those in the chamber.
And you saw 2 of them fly by there.
Moving into round 15, Zentex is going to find one early on Mads, who's been a problem this entire game. Blind goes out from Sky, halting any sort of movement out, but that is both blinds from the side of Guam. Out goes the dog, trying to find something. Can't quite find anything, though. Gecko looking to rotate around, same with the Cypher from Guam. Just trying to find some angle, but Dom is going to find one on Ovo to even things out.
They sure are. Cypher, the only one on B site for Guam, has to cover. And it was Gecko with the spike, has to run away. They're going to rotate again to A.
The entirety of Kadena is rotating to A, and no one's there from the side of Guam.
Only
but they're
Jet.
starting to rotate back just a little bit.
Gonna be in their face.
Can Neon catch them off guard? It's going to be face to face. Sky goes
Trades
for
are
the
gonna
engage,
go.
doesn't quite find
They
anything.
get 2.
But there's 2. Guam is taking
Maybe 3.
heads,
Long
3
shot.
heads. Can they find any more?
Oh, that's up to Cypher. They saw them.
Cypher, once
Cypher's
again, left as the only one standing. And now with plenty of time to defuse the bomb, Guam is going to bring themselves into double digits and only 3 rounds away from victory.
Only 3 rounds indeed. And they're not going to let that 1 round get to them. They're going to make sure that they can continue their momentum and try to get these last 3 rounds under their belt.
Yeah, this map really does tend to favor the attacking side just a little bit more. You have a little bit more unpredictability with the portals. You got a lot more high ground when it comes to your side in. But not saying it's completely impossible for the defenders either. They also have quite a bit of high ground with the Heaven on B side or on A side.
Yep.
And B side is honestly a really heavily contested area with a ton of the crates around as well. So while it's pretty easy to get to the point, staying on the point and holding it is a completely different story.
Yeah, there's a lot of angles anybody could cover from that. You might have a contest between Jet and Dom.
Mads goes down.
Not gonna go, but the whole team right there. Jet has to retreat very fast. Gecko dead, Cypher dead. Jet's getting, I think, a 3K right now.
Jet is
just spraying through the
going at
smokes.
it, through the smoke. Zentex finds one on Sky.
Sky's
It
gonna
is
eliminate that
just
ace.
Neon left with
Going through the portal.
Sharks circling in. Can they find a way out? Sky does find a way in through the teleporter, but is immediately taken out by Dom. A better gun traded out. But the real question is, are they going to try and take it, or are they going to try and keep holding on? Spike did go down B site, so it's going to be a little bit harder to contest. With so much movement
trip that
out,
one.
out
Either- oh,
the ultimate.
there's one.
One found.
Oh,
but Sun Tzu
Cypher.
quick to shut it down. Guam only 2 points away from victory.
That could have been it. Neon popping that ult. That was a great idea. And got one for the road. Din Tai Fung getting a 3K right off the bat. That really put Kadena in a tough spot.
Yeah, and then Zentex finding another one through the smoke. That was just an unfortunate place for your head to be. And no one can really fault you for that.
No.
But Kadena, still very far into this. They've shown that they can get the kills. They just need to have a little bit more utility awareness, just a little bit better placement of it, and maybe a little bit more luck on their side to not get shot through the smoke.
Seriously.
Zentex currently in a firefight, but nothing comes out of it. Oh no, 60 Hertz goes down to the op. Din Tai Fung, signature operator usage, and Sky trying to find a
Full
flash.
team right here.
But with all of Guam on site, they managed to get the plant down, but 3 kills go out. ZJT gets a kill on Cerulean, but Zentex very quick to follow. The defuse goes out with plenty of time to spare, and Guam is at match point.
Match point. That was a great round out of them. They're going to go into this match point round with at least one ult to their name. And right now, they're just looking on top. They're not messing around. You can see Typhon getting a few kills with that operator, which was huge. And then Zatex getting the other 3K. Almost a flawless round for Guam.
Almost. If it wasn't for Rays just being in a bad spot at the wrong time, they might have been able to get a flawless there. But at the same time, a flawless really isn't everything. Still, having 4 of your players alive in a game like Valorant is nothing to scoff at. We do see the tripwire go down, and Sky is very quick to use her flash, but it doesn't quite do anything. The team's just a little bit too far back for him to use. Both dogs get traded out, and now both teams know where each other are, and the smoke also goes down off of Brim.
Rushing Asai actually maybe going for the teleporter.
Ooh, out.
Ooh, this could be dangerous.
From the
Jet with an ult. There goes Cypher. Almost wallbang the Sky. Gecko running through, getting killed. Typhon again with the operator getting the Sky. Now popping ult. Never mind. Neon and Omen, the last 2 left.
Yeah, the Cypher going down early, having the ultimate is
Getting
not a very good
raised,
thing, but
getting
not-
Cypher!
That's 2 for Cypher. Can he
Getting
get a third?
through the smokes,
Finds
getting a third!
Mads is going nuts. They just evened out this game by himself. Jet still has her ult up, but it's going to be too much. Guam will be able to take this game off the defuse. 13-5.
13-5, almost a round win for Kadena to keep themselves alive. But Guam coming out on top with the win. Congratulations. On to the next round of round robin.
Yeah, I believe we're going to be checking out that Rocket League match that we only got a glimpse of, but from the looks of things, was going to be an incredibly close match. It was only 1-1, and yet everything was still going back and forth. Trades were being taken out. Everybody was rotating. Tons of aerial plays, and that was only from like the 30 seconds we got of it. I'm sure that the first round is over by now, and we're probably about halfway or so
Game
into
3,
the second.
Game 4 probably.
Yeah, Game 3, Game 4 territory, but I would bet you that this one goes to a map 5, just from the looks of things. But at the same time, we had a really close game earlier, and it only went 3-1.
That is true. I mean, a match can be close, and it can still be a sweep. It's just a matter of how this works out. And actually, we're going to be looking at a different scoreline going into Game 2 by the looks of it, seeing Forbidden Temple.
Maybe they held off just a little bit for us. They said we're gonna stream this one live, so
Maybe it was a maybe it was a long overtime.
maybe that would be cool to see. Humphreys though, with the first win of the series, currently up 4-0. Zama kind of struggling to play a little bit of defense here from the looks of things.
Just by the looks of things, indeed. Waterfall down for Sen. Cosmic tries to go for it. Sen trying to send it on target, and the other team trying to send it. Trying to be a team effort there. Cosmic trying to keep it in play with 0 boost. Dom able to get at least 1 touch to the midfield before the other team stops that push. He's going to keep it in the corner, go for another. Just make 50s, be annoying, try to be a problem, try to bump Dom in the same problem. Cosmic not able to do much. He's going to hover in the midfield for the moment, but Humphrey just has all the control right now. Now approaching halfway through this Game 2.
The other team does get the demo on to Sack, which is going to mean their defender in the goal is going to be out of this game. Currently, the other team and Cosmic are both vying for control with Dom, and they are in firm control of this ball in the corner.
Ooh,
but
this is gonna
nobody's
roll
on
back.
defense now.
It's gonna be wide.
Cosmic is able to get back with just barely enough boost to spare. That could have been bad if the angle was just a little bit worse, or a little bit better, I should say.
Yeah, if it was a little bit more to the right, that could have fallen in right next to the post, but instead it was going to be wide. Maybe Cosmic's turn, shot on, maybe a pass. Almost the connection, but Ashy Wolf is going to cut that one out and send it to the side wall. Dom should be the next one to make the 50, and he does. Cosmic trying to make a touch, and he does. Get it to the midfield where Sen is going to pick it up. To the corner, Sack is going to be able to clear it out for just a moment. Low boost for most of Zama. Dom with the only one with boost, period. Now a few pads are coming out.
Now the other team.
Oh, and an open net!
The touch on the ball, but an overcommit allows Humphrey to widen the lead to 5-0.
And a hat trick for the other team. or this team, or that, I don't know at this point. This team, that team, the other team. Regardless, Humphrey in the lead.
One team, two team, red team, blue team. The other team is going to take this ball. Stopped by Dom. Quite a play, and then there goes Zach trying to keep it out of their goal as well. I will say, they might be down 5 currently, but at the same time, they are playing some pretty good defense, all things considered. The last goal we saw was because of a bit of an overcommit. Cosmic is unable to grab that
And
one.
that one might be an overcommit.
Yeah, that might be just the overcommit they were looking for. The other team is able to snag the 100 boost, though. It's going to make it a little bit difficult to make a play. Sen with the save. Dom almost finding a goal there, and the ball is back on to Zama's side.
Oh, and this one might be an open net for Sen. It's a double commit on the defense. 2 players flying opposite ways, opens up the net. The other team getting a bump on Dom, putting him out of the way, and Zach committing on the ball, leaving it open for Sen.
Everybody, too.
Encroaching on a minute left. 6-0 for Humphrey. This could be what they're hoping for. Sen getting a shot on, saved by Zach and the other team. Trying to make a touch there, but it misses. And this might be an over net on the other way. It's going to float towards the net, off the post. Ashy Wolf misses the shot.
Misses it barely. Bump out of Sen to prevent anybody getting back. And Cosmic is just going to force them out of the goal, widening the lead to 7-0.
Zach, unfortunately, just has to sit in net, and that was so awkward for him. Cosmic had great control of the ball, forcing him into a very uncomfortable position.
Here we go, 40 seconds left on the clock. And I think it's pretty safe to say that Humphreys has their second.
Yes. Yeah, I would agree. This game, too, is indeed in favor of Humphrey.
Yeah, I believe Humphreys is on a little bit of a revenge tour after the last loss. It was a very, very close game. And this game was also shaping up to be really close, the defenses as well. But I think Humphreys finally found their groove a little bit on the offense. And since Zama is not quite able to get it back onto Humphreys for a significant amount of time, it really puts them at the disadvantage. Dom trying to keep it out of the corner, but Cosmic is just right there to keep it right where he wants it, along with the other team. 1 second left. If it touches the ground, it's over. And there we go. End of game 2, Humphreys wins 7-0.
And you look at that shot map, it is so dominant.
There's a Humphreys shot from the top left corner.
There sure is. Also from the left mid boost and almost the right mid, there's shots everywhere.
Yeah, I was expecting it like around the goal and pretty close. And
Yeah.
maybe one from the middle, but I wasn't expecting it that far back.
Far corner.
Yeah, the far 100 boost.
No.
But I guess if you got it, you got to make it work.
Yeah, shot on, whether it be a goal or not. It wasn't a goal. It probably would have shown. But regardless, Humphrey, very commanding game 2. Now going into game 3, match point. They're going to try and replicate that, keep that momentum building, and try to keep that offense going.
Yeah, I feel like they need to keep that momentum building. And honestly, Zama needs to find a way to stop that momentum in its tracks, whether it be a first goal, whether it be just completely shutting them out on defense. Probably more towards that aggressive play style. They need to kind of pick up the pace just a little bit more. But at the same time, it's going to be a little bit harder to do that. Humphreys has kind of proven themselves to be the top dog in this tournament, or one of the top dogs in this tournament. But at the same time, they're still a shot. They played it really close from what little bit we saw. It was back and forth around the halfway mark, so you never know.
You really don't. Any game is a toss-up. Time on the clock, time to get goals, get games, try to make this series a little bit closer, maybe try and guarantee a game 4. But in this case, the other team has full control. Flick on, just wide, and
But Cosmic comes in with the assist.
6 seconds.
We are barely 5 seconds in, and the first goal has already gone in from the other team.
Oh, what a flick by the other team. Getting it over 2 defenders in Cosmic with a quick cleanup.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that's been so great about Humphreys, though. Their ability to not only make those really good flicks, really good plays, we saw quite a few waterfalls coming out of them, but then also the follow-up. They really only make those plays if there's somebody there to follow up with it. Proving my point exactly. Sen teeing it up and the other team hitting it like a driver.
What a zinger to top bins. Oh, what a great goal. Showing off that goal explosion from a few seasons ago. Now 15 seconds in and 2 goals up. Humphrey continuing that momentum from game 2, not relenting any sort of pressure.
I got the chance to talk to a few of the college level high school Rocket League players, but Sen is going to find a goal tonight too. As I'm talking, I really just need to start talking about Rocket League because, like, man, every time I go somewhat off topic, I think there's a bit of downtime, bang, another goal is scored.
That's your fault.
But from what I've heard from like college level Rocket League players is that momentum carries between games and just keeping it going, just going fast as you possibly can, getting back into games is what you need for a game that's so fast paced. And Sen is taking full advantage of it, just teeing it up for his teammates to work wonders with.
Yeah, and talking about momentum, I mean, that's why you see, like, whenever you see best of sevens in Rocket League, there's typically always a timeout allocated to each team. And whenever somebody goes up by 2 games, you're always going to see that other team try to pull out that timeout, give the team an extra minute to recuperate, but also cut that momentum away from them, make sure that they can lose their groove and try to make it a little bit closer. But that one, Humphrey almost getting a 5th goal for them, but right now there's no timeouts for anybody. And with 4 minutes still left on the clock, there is so much time left for Humphreys to add on, but also for Zama to potentially tie the game.
Yeah, Zama got it really close with the other team just taking it away once again. Sack in the goal was able to block it off, but Sen once again just finding a way to throw it in the goal.
All 3 there. Oh, a bump from the other team. Sack had 0 boost. Great shot out of Zen, puts it to the far post. That's a 5-0 lead for Humphrey. Very comfortable position to either buy time or just make sure that Zama can't get any shots on goal.
Now the other team taking it up, trying to get it off of their defensive side, keep mounting this pressure here. Sen once again following up, just trying to find a way to maybe get another goal here, widen the lead a little bit more. Cosmic trying to play a little bit more out of the middle so the other team can set it up.
Maybe a double.
The double
Great
tap,
save.
Stack is going to take it, but the double commit causes Cosmic the perfect opportunity to just throw it in.
Indeed, the other team almost gets the double tap, a sack there for the save, but a follow-up. Nobody was able to read, and Humphrey are going to go up by 6 now.
The other team finding the first touch, but nobody's quite there to follow it up with their foolproof strategy of you knock it up, I knock it in. Sack is there to block it from the goal, and he's pretty good at those one taps, but when you have 2 people going for the ball at the same time, it makes it a little bit more difficult for this defense to do anything about it. Dom and Stack are both trying to keep it away from their goal. Dom now trying to rotate towards the middle, but the ball gets dropped. Cosmic tries to tee it up for the other team, just barely missing the ball there. We have almost
Another shot.
Go, but Sen barely off of the top crossbar.
This has got to be the longest stretch of time without any goals, and it's going to continue to be that while Dom gets it out. Only to the corner. Sack grabs that corner boost, refilling his boost meter. Ashy sending it to the sidewall. Maybe follow up by a teammate. Instead, it's going to be the other team sitting on the target. It's going to be high off the post. Sending it in, bottom right, and a hat trick.
Hat trick off of Sen. I'd imagine that the other 2 aren't too far away from one either. And Zama is really struggling to get them off of the offense here. They just seem to be making a few too many overcommits to really take the pressure off themselves.
Yeah, I think it's also just great positioning or shot placement in the side of Humphrey, like this one maybe. Dom with an amazing save off the post again. The other team sending it in and getting his hat trick.
Unable to find a way to really get through to him. Yeah, just spectacular shot placement from the other team. It's really hard for anyone to get in, even with full boost.
Especially with full boost. Now closing in on 2 minutes left. This one's gonna roll up. Sen gonna go for another shot on. It's gonna be a double commit out of Dom and Sack, but anything to keep that ball out of their net for as long as possible. Cosmic sending it to the sidewall. Maybe a follow-up. Instead, the other team's gonna cut that one off. Grabbing the mid boost as well. They're kind of 50-ing each other now. They know that with 8 goals, they're pretty comfortably in the lead.
Yeah, Dom quick to reciprocate on that pass over midfield, quickly taken over by Cosmic and the other team. They do not want to give them any advantage whatsoever. They're playing this, I think they're getting a little bit cocky. I mean, when you're up 8-0, you kind of can afford to be, but having 3 players all at the goal at the same time, you're just opening yourself up to make some mistakes. But considering what we've seen out of Humphreys, I don't think we're going to see very many mistakes being made.
Not very many indeed. And there's the other team sending in the 9th, dead center through the net. They're all having a good time, and they're enjoying this last few minutes of this game, sending them they're going to get one more win to end off the night, if not with one more game ahead of them.
That is true, especially with tournament play coming up tomorrow. Even if it is an easy win, a win is a win when it comes to the brackets. And I believe it's the top 2 teams that get a bye for the first set. Since there will be 5 teams on each side of the bracket,
that would
and
make
while
sense.
I'm talking, the other team manages to expand their lead to double digits.
Double digits, and just more salt in the wound at the end of this game. With minute 16 left, at this point, it's formalities. Humphrey are going to sweep Zama.
Yeah, it was looking really promising in the beginning. I just don't think Humphreys had quite found their groove yet. But now that they have, it's been a little bit more of a rough time, especially
Oh, what a save!
the defensive side. But I say that, and then Dom finds a way to just take it away. And here is the other game that's going on side by side. We have Zama up against Kubasaki here. Currently, Kubasaki having 3 players left on the attacking side, about less than a minute left to go. Zama with only 2. As long as they can keep the spike from being planted, they can still come away with this first pistol round.
They absolutely could, and Mai with the spike is going to encroach her way closer to Seaside, getting rid of that tripwire from Cypher. Cypher already knew. You can see him trying to rotate to C to try and stop this push. But with a 3v1 and Reyna coming in slow, it's gonna be a tough one to try and recapture sight.
Yeah, out comes the Cypher Cage too, limiting mobility and visibility too. Not really mobility, but that Lunatic manages to take out Papadelic, and then following it up with one on Kenteshi, Kubasaki takes the first round off Zama.
That was indeed the first round, first of many. Kubasaki. This one's gonna be an interesting one because whenever I see Zama in Valorant, it takes me back to yesterday's Guam versus Zama match. That was very intense and very close.
It was a super close game against 2 of the best teams in Valorant. But I think Kubasaki is looking to bring their name into that conversation as well. We've seen them play several times before now. Actually, yeah, we have seen them play once or twice before. And each time they've been incredibly entertaining to watch, just like the majority of these teams have been. But these 2 teams seem to be a perfect match for one another, just like Zama and Guam were last night.
Indeed, and we have yet to see an elimination take place. Everybody trying to decide what site is going to be best for this round, and it looks like A is going to be the final decider. Some smoke's going out by Clove and Neon combined.
Ooh, but
Through the
Papadelic
smoke.
finds one through the smoke. What a shot. Recon Bolt does go out, but that's not going to stop Neon from
Christian gets
finding
2.
2. Location does get revealed again, and Kenteshi manages to get the wall bang. It is back to even. That Lunatic doesn't want it to stay that way for long, though. Takes out 2. There goes Papadelic finding another one, checking cams to see where people are. Finds the Clove, and out goes the Cypher Cage.
Oh,
Taken
no.
out from hell underneath heaven. That is an unfortunate death to be in. I don't think I've ever seen anybody shoot up from hell into heaven and manage to get that shot.
Even with the Cypher wall right there, I was not expecting that play to come out. I mean, with that Sova right underneath, he was in a perfect position to see where Cypher was going to come from. Or I guess it wasn't Sova, or no, yeah, it was Sova.
Yeah, it was Sova underneath there. The Zama Sova did unfortunately end up getting eliminated pretty early on in that final team fight. But at the same time, it opens up the possibility for maybe a little bit more econ selection. We can see currently Sova playing with more of a Sheriff. but it is going to be a little bit more difficult because Zama or Kubasaki has all the guns that they'd want, and they're immediately putting that to good use with a kill on Clove.
With all the econ in their favor, winning those first 2 rounds, they can have all the abilities and guns they want. But for right now, already a Cypher ult as well in their back pocket. Trying to get that neural theft out. Paradox getting 2. That was a great. It's a great start to this. Using
and then 2 more, or just 1 more. But
Papadelic getting another one. Yes. Pilsner getting Paradox. Now down to a 3v2 in favor of Zama. Clove, all that's left, and Clove is going to get 1. They got to be careful here. Cypher there. Great shot out of Cypher.
Zama manages to win their eco round, which is going to help out massively in just keeping themselves in the game with their gun selection. Because ultimates, incredibly powerful. Gadgets, incredibly useful. But the thing is, it is in the end a shooter, and you shoot guns.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah. Bringing a knife to a gunfight is never a good thing, unless you know your opponent can't hit their shots. Then it might be. And you get the jump on them. But we did see yesterday that that unfortunate Omen tried to take the knife fight and ended up losing. So anything can happen.
Anything can. But right now, Kubasaki trying to keep their lead in full form.
Cypher is pretty much locked down that left side of the map on C point, and also quite a bit of the B site too. Every rotation angle is currently being covered by either a tripwire or a camera, but that's not stopping Kubasaki from moving over to A site. Zama, I think, did sort of expect this though. Kahoot and Kenteshi both finding 1, and it's forcing them to back off just a little bit and regroup. Just try not to lose any more, but Pilsner manages to find 2, almost evening it out.
This is a good comeback for Kubasaki. Getting them going, but through the smoke, Reyna able to get that one, and now it's left to Clove again.
And the spike is down too.
The spike is down now. Have to be careful, not knowing that Reyna was there. Clove will go down.
On the ability. But that means going into round 5, we're back to even. And every time we've seen Zama play, this is sort of what's happened. They went down the first few rounds, and then they came back. And then they get up a little bit, and then they get back to even, and then they go up again. So this is very typical for Zama. It's not a bad thing. It's not necessarily a good thing either.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just showing that they're back in their groove. They have the better guns in this scenario. They're forcing Kubasaki to play with a little bit worse guns for the next few rounds if they want to keep this up. And if they keep losing, it's going to force
that was a great
into
shock dart.
basically pistol rounds.
It's a great shot.
Recon dart does go out, but it's immediately broken. They know someone's there, but they don't quite know where they are. Recon dart does go out from Paradox, and it's going to get a little bit more information. Plus, the recon bolt from the drone.
Ooh, Paradox gets that. Sends out a shark dart.
And there
And he actually got it.
And another from Papadelic. It is only Cypher left, and the spike is in the worst spot possible on Seaside Hallway.
Great use of a wall to try and get yourself out of there. There's Jet from far, flawless for Zama to put themselves in the lead.
Put them in the lead, 3-2, and that has devastated the economy of Kubasaki. They were trying to run the best guns they had, seeing if they could maybe eke out 1 more win, get themselves back in it. But Zama, taking minimal casualties and also dealing maximum damage, did wonders for their economy, but decimated the others. And it's back to pistol rounds for Kubasaki.
Oh, the old familiar pistol rounds. I mean, if you can win them though and you can get the weapons back, that's always a good thing. Get that one good knockout and then you're set for life because you can grab a weapon and continue forward. But it looks like Kenteshi is going to be taking out Pilsner and kind of shutting down that offensive push from the side on A so far. Right now, keeping Christian Sev back for a little bit. Sev not wanting to push forward down this hallway, does not know if the Reyna is going to pop up. Well, I guess the Reyna is knocked out. Anyone else is going to pop up again. Clove giving them a little bit of extra smoke to sneak around the corner and maybe assess as well as recover some weaponry. Now they need to decide how they're going to head forward. continuing down A side, not wanting to give that up yet. They'll have to watch their angles. So far, good on time. But the longer they wait, the harder this will become. Luckily for them, it doesn't seem like Zama knows exactly where Kubasaki is coming from.
Oh, stop the headshot out of Giannitas, taking them down one more player. Zama has the advantage early on, and wow, this is going to be a little bit more difficult for Kubasaki to push forward. They might have Cypher ultimate, but with only 30 seconds left, I'm not sure they're willing to use it. The recon dart does go out, same with the bolt, and now the entire middle push has been compromised, forcing Clove to either back off or try and re-peek.
Yeah, great timing so far, and with 12 seconds left, it is now or never. Mai moving up with the spike, Canute checking around. They suspect they might be there. They see the gun, they know, trying to go for the wallbang. Giannitas is able to take down Mai. That lunatic goes down as well. With one player left, the defenders are able to hold it through time, which honestly, in Valorant, that is a really hard thing to pull off.
I'm honestly surprised that they tried to push forward with only 2 players. We saw one of them back off with one of the better guns, with the Vandal. Both of them had Vandals too. And if they were to keep that, that was 2 less guns that they had to buy in the next round. And Zama had such good control over that site. It was going to be incredibly difficult for them to take it with even 3 people. To be honest, the A site in this map in particular, it has 2 ways to come from, but it's also got one angle that can pretty much cover both of them.
You make a fair point, but it actually is probably the better decision to push up. The issue is, yes, you can save guns, but if you win the round, your eco will be better overall. And saving guns doesn't halt your team's eco, but it looks like Christian Sev is going to be taken out by Cypher. As they go onto B side, the enemies are revealed. They're going to use Neural Theft to get an idea of where their opponents might be. And with that, Kubasaki needs to back off, or they might be taken out by the Lurker. Canute with the op going for Cypher. Lear goes out, as well as the survey drone. They're able to see exactly where they are. Getting locked into this corner here, Kenteshi takes down Pilzer, Mai, and although gets taken down by Firefiend, Giannitas is quick to avenge them. And with that, Zama is able to do a quick cleanup of Kubasaki.
You know, it's not very often you see the op on a flank. It's most of the time the Vandal. But you normally see the snipers trying to play a little bit more longer angles, especially on this map. That B-side hallway, that is pretty much a straight shot into attacker spawn. You have a little bit of roundabouts, but if they want to go to B site, that's typically the way they rotate in. Plus, you also have the C-side hallway, which is one of the longer hallways in this game and longer sightlines too. So having a very highly mobile character play a sniper on the back is definitely not something you see every day.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense though when you're on Jet. I mean, Jet is the best for op plays like that right there. Pilsner gone, tries to go for Mai. Mai is going to take them down with the Odin, however, not wanting to play around. Lear goes out to give them a little bit more time down that hallway, checking through the smoke to see if Clove is around. But luckily for them, they have not shown up just yet. Firefiend watching down sewers to see where they might end up being. Zama and Kubasaki kind of in a stalemate here on A site. Not sure which way to go. Kuba looking at whether or not that might be the right play. And they do go B side, spotting Sova. It's the Odin versus the Odin, checking these angles right here. Killjoy pops around the corner, does see where Sova is. He's going to pop down the recon drone, see who he spots, and well, there's going to be quite a few people there, but no one gets tagged. Going for some wall bangs, is not able to hit anyone, and with that kind of at a dead end for information until Kenteshi is able to take down both Christian Sev and that lunatic. Kenteshi, however, goes down to Mai, the Odin holding on strong. With that though, Clove is alone and Spike is down. With that, Zama has control of the Spike and is able to clean up Firefiend with that 6-2. 4 points lead.
Not only did that Clove have her location revealed, but also just having 3 people on that point is just never fun. But this shot onto Mai, you thought they had a really good angle there, but unfortunately for them, Giannitas just had a little bit better reaction time, and that Vandal is a little bit better at holding those angles than Odin is, even with its large amount of firepower. But going into this next round, it is going to be an ultimate palooza. We have 9 currently available on the field, so I foresee a crazy amount of ultimates used in the next team fight.
I don't know. I think it depends on how close. Where were we compared to the swap? There will be people that will want to hold on to them, and it also just depends on the ultimate.
I believe we're
right?
at 7-2.
Yeah, so we're not quite there yet. I mean, I definitely think we'll see some ultimates pop off of each other. I didn't see exactly which ones it is, but if we've got Bladestorm on Jet, that'll pop almost immediately.
The only one that wasn't up was the Cypher ult on Zama.
Yeah. Oh, right, because he used it a couple rounds back.
Oh, wait,
now,
no. Wait, no. It was... Actually, no, yeah, it was Zama.
Yeah, he used it, I think, 2 rounds back or so.
Yeah.
But anyway, with that, I mean, there are the classics that'll get popped almost immediately. Jet with Bladestorm is an instant threat. It's always meant to intimidate and then ultimately later on actually take out players, but it's always there to threaten the idea of, yes, you could be taken out very quickly. Now, we'll see about the rest of the ultimates. I wouldn't be shocked if we don't actually see them all pop, just because, yeah, you can pop your ultimates, but if you can avoid them and then keep your ultimates for later, that can be a huge benefit. It really just depends on how quickly and if Spike goes down. If Spike goes down, ultimates are way more likely to be thrown, but Kenteshi doesn't want to see that go through, knocking out Fire Fiend. Fire Fiend is going to use Pick Me Up. However, Kenteshi also takes down Mai and Fire Fiend once again, getting a wallbang with the Odin. Sova takes down Neon, and with that, Kubasaki is down to 2. Barely into the round at this point. They don't even have control of Spike, and another wallbang takes down Pilsner, that lunatic following behind. Paradox is really working the Odin right now.
Man, that Odin was just ripping through every piece of terrain. If a bullet could go through, it did go through in that round, finding 2. I don't even know how he managed to see that one player on inside of that window, or the Neon right here. He was probably called out just a little bit, but wow, combination of really low and then a lot of bullets being fired out of the Odin as well.
I mean, it's always a guess, especially on this map. You can do a lot of wallbangs, and so that is the goal right here. As we can see, it's been very effective, allowing Zama to push through and get quite a few knockouts. Now checking through Sewer, a lot of shots being fired immediately with Zama backing off, seeing all of the potential danger that goes through as we see Kubasaki choosing to look through A side right now, checking A long. Couple bullets go flying, but no one gets hit. So far, although there has been some firefight, nothing has actually gone through. They'll want to be careful, though. There is a player up top in heaven, looks like Cypher. Danger spot to be if you don't want to get sniped, and they most certainly don't. But will they see Canute around the corner? Better be careful. And there goes Fire Fiend. Fire Fiend down. Now, will someone try to push? That's the real question. Looks like Canute is trying to get a couple lucky pot shots, but Clove is going to smoke off the area, allowing Zama to, well, actually hiding anything from Zama, and Pilsner goes down. There goes the op for Kubasaki here as Kenteshi is able to knock them out. Now rotating a little bit over to B side, checking out Garage. Kenteshi is able to take down that lunatic. Wasn't able to hide as much as he wants. Sev goes down as well, and with that, Mai is out, and Zama is able to get a flawless.
It just goes to show, Zama is the king at taking what looks like a deficit and just running away with things. That we saw it in the really good game we've been talking about against Zama and Guam, where it went really close. They were just back and forth the entire time. And overall, it was just an incredibly close game that Zama continued to come back from, even when they looked down. So Zama's never a team that you should count out, and this is definitely showing it here. We are currently on round 11, 1 round before the swap. Just about everything is about to come down. If these ults aren't used this round, by golly, we'll see them next time. Pilsner finds one on Giannitas, but Giannitas has a little bit of time to get a kill of their own before...
Oh, Hunter's Fury is out, going to try and stall out by Sewers here, see if they can pop and catch anyone off guard. Doesn't end up happening, and Clove is not able to use Pick Me Up fully to get the knockout they need to stay on the field. With that, player down for Zama. Might give Kubasaki the room they need to work with. Smokes go down as Lear goes out as well. Empress is active as the attacker Killjoy lockdown goes through. Neon is out though. Back and forth we see here. Who is it going to be? The stall is going to help, and it looks like it's going to be the trick that Kubasaki might need to make Zama not realize that they're going to be planting on C. We do see a small rotate here from Mai, well, as they they begin, and they do catch Paradox off guard, but Pilsner is able to hold on. Kubasaki now has the spike planted, and they'll have to see where they can go from here. They do have to contest against 2 ultimates. They have a Hunter's Fury to stall. Sova backing off where he needs to go just in case he needs to be ready. Bladestorm is out. Fire Fiend is taken down, and Pilsner too. They've lost that ultimate insurance that they used to have. Knut Papadelic down, and Kenteshi using a wallbang. 1-1. This is it. Odin is on the side of Mai, going to throw out some grenades to get the idea, going for the defuse. They know that they might be there. They have to be very careful here. Are they going to poke? Mai tries to get the wallbang, but they aren't able to.
They just diffused that right under Killjoy's nose. Kubasaki had that in the bag. If Killjoy would have just poked out for just a second, they would have taken that round. But Zama, being sneaky little snakes, were able to take it.
Yeah, I really think Killjoy was a little too scared to peek out there. They had the potential to get the wallbang. They knew where the spike was. But look at those knockouts there. Just seeing the power of Bladestorm. Even though they were taken out in the end, they were able to get some value out of it. Though I do want to call out Kenteshi right now in their KDA. I think I saw 19-7-5. I believe is where it was. And Giannitas with the op getting that lunatic knocked out, going right into sewers to get 2 down. Clove getting a 3rd. You know, normally you'd see the op on a Jet, but I'm starting to think that maybe Giannitas doesn't care. Spike carrier down, 1 player left. Pilsner able to catch them off guard. They didn't see them go down a long, but their entire team has been decimated by that sniper.
Man, it is really rare to see more than 2 kills out of an op, because you know, it can penetrate walls, they can get the wall bangs, it does a lot of the, especially in this tournament, a lot of the collateral kills, but you rarely see somebody with a sniper walk straight into the enemy team and come out with 4 kills. But Knut is going to end up taking down Pilsner. The swap's going to go through, and Zama is but 3 maps away from victory.
Yeah, getting fairly close here. It's a rough spot to be. Going to take a look back at some of the highlights here with that op play. Once again, just incredible they were able to get as many shots off. Granted, sewers is a great long hallway for getting those knockouts. And unfortunately for Kubasaki, they just kept tempting fate, and they didn't win the 50-50 there.
Yeah, Clove kind of tempted fate a little bit too much, though, pushing up that far, and unfortunately didn't see Pilsner behind him. Otherwise, we might have seen an op 5K. But they won the round in the end, so you can't really complain about it.
Op ace would be wild, though.
Yeah.
Like, imagine someone getting an ace with the op. Not unheard of, but just so hard to pull off. Going into this next matchup, we have swapped sides. Going to see a little bit of a new strategy from both teams. Going on to Site C to plant that lunatic, takes down Knut and Giannitas. Papadelic is able to take down Cypher, and they are going to begin the plant. This is a dangerous position for Kubasaki. They get caught off guard while they are going from spawn here, but they aren't able to immediately move up, and as Spike is planted, they're going to run out of time if they're not careful, and they don't know that there is a secret person hiding behind them. Sev able to knock out Zama and get the defuse. Well, going to swap it over to Killjoy so they can get their ultimate charged up a little bit as well. But great play there from Kubasaki. The lurker is in the end going to be able to catch them off guard and get another point for Kubasaki there.
I feel like that's the best way to play Neon on defense, though, because you can't really anchor a site as a character whose pretty much whole kit revolves around her moving as fast as possible to more than likely the other side of the map. So being able to just run around, do whatever you want, stay away from the core, and just pick off people who may not be 100% ready, that is what you do. But like I was saying earlier, Zama might have lost that first round, and Kubasaki might have won, but we can't really count either team out of it quite yet. Kubasaki proved that they are pretty good on defense and can find a way to make it work. And Zama has proven in the past that they have come back from much worse situations. So it's going to be all about how they play this, and Paradox is going to find the first one on Neon.
Yeah, Paradox knocking out Neon, though you were talking about being a lurker is good, you do have to be careful about it. And honestly, Neon can do a lot of good in the back, zooming between these 3 sites. It can be crucial. And with Neon gone, they have lost a valuable float as they are going to go into the confrontation around Garage. They pop out to try and take shots, but Paradox is going to get hit by a wallbang through Mai here. Mai able to catch them off guard as they are trying to go for C, but it doesn't end up working. So instead, a secret plant on A is going to occur while the rest of the team rotates through the middle to B with Spike down on A here. Now they're going to have to try and rotate their best. Kenteshi checking through spawn, watching for any opportunities. Zama does not want to take this up to chance. They know where they might be, but Firefiend able to get the Outlaw out is able to knock them out here, bringing down that potential lurk and getting a new angle for defense. But do they see Canute? That'll be the question. If they don't know that Canute is there, this could be the route that gets them. The big question here is, will they see? They know that they're there, but the Outlaw isn't able to do enough, and Zama takes the point, 11-3.
I was watching Sova, and it was like a horror movie. He's right behind you. And unfortunately, he did not look behind him. Which, Giannitas played that perfectly, though. Sit in the corner, wait for him to come through, throw your smoke down. They either have to push through to get to the bomb in time, or you just take them out before they do anything. So it's honestly kind of a win-win scenario once you get into that point.
Yeah, and looking at this new round, we'll have to see where they decide to go. Looks like Zama might be looking for an A push, checking out Sewers once again. Going to move up Firefiend right there as Tailwind is active, giving Jet a little bit of extra room to work with. They, however, do not see Sev in heaven, who's going to get a headshot, knocking Canute out. Lear goes down to blind, and Firefiend takes down Kenteshi. Now with that, Zama down 2 players, and Kubasaki holding the line at A. They're going to be rotating away. Not the best place to be. However, Paradox might stay behind to sneak around. Will they see him? Yes, they do, but they can't do anything about it as Sev goes down. Shock Dart to cover as he walks away to go back up his team, rotating to C, and as there is no one on the site, they are going to be able to safely plant. Papadelic getting it down. They don't see Mai, but Mai isn't able to do anything just yet. Spike is going to be planted, and now Kubasaki needs to prepare for the retake.
The classic might be classic, but it doesn't quite work from that far away. At the same time, we can see Paradox trying to hold down the sideline. Giannitas taking out Pilsner, helping out just a little bit, but taken out by that lunatic, not being seen. Paradox is able to take out one. Recon Dart does go out, and now it is up to Firefiend to try and take out 2 on the point. But Paradox just slowly backing away, biding his time, but it's not enough. Headshot out of Firefiend is going to be enough to take them out of the running. But from the looks of things, Cypher, with the camera, knows exactly where they are going to be. And with the bomb going down, attackers now have reached match point.
Yeah, Kubasaki is not looking good right now. This is their opportunity. If they can get this, they can stop Zama, but Zama is on the cusp of victory here, and with how they've been playing, Kubasaki really needs to figure out a solution to dealing with how they've been hitting these attack points. They've been doing a really good job putting up a good, strong defense, but it hasn't been enough, so this is the turning point, their moment to decide, will we be able to take this, or is Zama going to run away with it right here, right now?
This will really be the question, as almost all of the operators are currently in full buy. You saw a few snipers coming out of there. Shock Dart does end up coming out of Sova. He's unable to find anything, though. Canute gets the kill on Pilsner, finding another on Firefiend. He is on fire, up on top of the crates in a great position. Mai is able to find Kenteshi, and now basically they're going to have to fight this Jet off of a high ground that is really easy to find kills through, but not from behind. That lunatic finds a great headshot, but not before Giannitas is able to get it back in blood. And now it is up to Mai to take this round past, or to get them past 4. But it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough.
And with that, Zama gets to 13, able to take it and win the match. Congratulations to Zama. Well-fought match. Really hard game there. Although you were able to take it overall, there was a lot of back and forth going on. And, you know, I think with the op play that we saw earlier, that's a well-deserved win in a really, really good way that they went.
Yeah, definitely. the courage to go out with a operator pretty much in rifle range is just incredible.
Yeah, and honestly, just an incredible matchup and a great way to continue on with that. But while we're getting ready to see some more incredible matches of both Rocket League and Valorant, we'll be going to break real quick.
We're with Liam after his 4th military move. When being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays when she misses home the most. Thanks to generous supporters, we're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today. We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. Thanks to your donations, we're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Okay, we're chilling. Welcome back to the DoDEA Esports.
We're with Liam after his 4th military move. When being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays when she misses home the most. Thanks to generous supporters, we're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today. We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. Thanks to your donations, we're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
closed. Closing in on 2 minutes left. This one's gonna roll up. Sen gonna go for another shot on. It's gonna be a double commit out of Dom and Sack, but anything to keep that ball out of their net for as long as possible. And it looks like A is gonna be the final decider. Some smoke's going out by Clove and Neon combined.
Ooh, but
Through the smoke.
One through the smoke. What a shot. Recon Bolt does go out, but that's not going to stop.
Start to this.
Ooh, maybe 2 more. Or just 1 more. But
Papadella getting another one, yes. Pilsner getting Paradox. Now down to a 3v2 in favor of Zama. Clove, all that's left, and he's gonna get one. You gotta be careful here, Cypher.
But that's not stopping Kubasaki from moving over to A side. Zama, I think, did sort of expect this, though. Kahoot and Kenteshi both finding one, and it's forcing them to back off just a little bit and regroup. Try not to lose anymore, but Pilsner manages to find 2.
Now in their KDA, I think I saw it 19-7-5. I believe is where it was. And Giannitas with the op getting that lunatic knocked out, going right into sewers to get 2 down. Clove getting a 3rd. You know, normally you'd see the op on a jet, but I'm starting to think that maybe. Welcome back to the DoDEA Esports studio as we get ready to continue our coverage going forward with the championships. Now, we have been watching some Valorant and we've been, flipping back and forth, but we're now going to flip once again and head into some Rocket League to check out how these teams are doing and see where we're at in the current brackets. We're starting to get close to the end. These teams have been playing hard all day. And something I would wonder too is any thoughts that you have on the fact that we're at the end of the day, people have been playing all day, mistakes can happen when you start getting tired. Like, what are some ways do you think that might happen? Do you think these players are practiced with that, or is that a normal problem?
Endurance can be a problem for a lot of players, especially when they're not accustomed to it. And I feel like for 2 back-to-back long days for these players, that it could dawn on them and pose a few problems here late. But I think the biggest thing for them to focus on is that, hey, you're fairly close, if not already in your final round of round robin, and the finish line is right ahead of you. All you have to do is finish out this next series or so, and then you're done for the day and you're going to go on to tomorrow.
Yeah, and you'll be ready to start again, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed for the championships, where it will be elimination brackets instead of these round robins. But right now it is Daegu versus Yokota High School. Both of them going in for their very best. This might be their last time playing, so they need to show their all here. As we launch into it, we can already see the back and forths beginning, looking for any potential pot shots onto the goal. But so far being denied, both teams do not want to let an early goal go through, as Chaz and Ember here fight for the ball for a second. Ember looking for an opportunity to pop it to their teammate. They bounce it to the back, but Chaz is able to get through. Demo onto Ember allows for Yokota to get a little bit more control of the ball, but not enough to get it away from their goal. It could be dangerous. So far, so good for Daegu, but they might be out of luck soon.
So close.
Hits the back crossboard there. They're safe for now. Where it will go, that's the question. Will Benora be able to get it up? Their team is ready and waiting behind them, going to pop it towards the goal. However, Caboose is there and able to bounce it away. Chaz looking for the potential. He sees that, but he's going to be demoed before he can commit.
Ooh, it's close.
Through the demo, getting the goal there.
Like, I just zooms in right on him after spawning. He's like,
Yeah, I did that.
That's on me. I sacrificed myself for that.
Oh,
what a goal,
what's unfortunate is you can see that, like, Ember thought it was going to roll up, right? Like, you thought it was safe, and honestly, I did too, but the physics decided to roll a little bit to the left, and with that, they now have their first goal. A little
Almost
bit
a
under
second.
4 minutes. Yeah, second shot onto goal there is going to hit the backboard, but they better be careful. However, their goal is completely open. Is Mace Windu going to be able to get back? Looks like he will be able to for now, but they'll have to be careful leaving the goal open like that. It almost led to Daegu being able to get a shot on goal. However, he's going to take it right back to their side with a demo on the goal. That might be a spot opening, but Daegu is able to hold on and knock it away.
Very close, and they had the control, they had the opportunities. It just went a little wide, and now it's going to be Mr. Mace sending it down. Might be an open net. All he has to do is let it roll on in, and it's going to go in. Yokota going up by 2.
Yeah, look at that. Just a beautiful pop-up. Just kind of a, wow. I mean, if anything, that went way farther than I thought originally. I thought he was past half point, but he was all the way back there. With that, though, Yokota is able to get their second point. And, you know, looking at the scoreboard where we're at, I'm starting to see a bit of a trend with demos here with Caboose. He's kind of taking the idea that we've seen in plenty of games before and trying to knock him out, but this looks like an opportunity for Chaz.
So
going to bounce off the backboard. Windu's going to follow him up, and it looks like a clean goal.
Clean goal for Mace, and I'm kind of like bouncing off of you here for the demos. Exactly, Caboose already has 5 to his name. It reminds me of Dan earlier on today getting a lot of demos within that series that we saw him in.
Yeah, it was like upwards of 20. I mean, maybe we'll see the sequel to that. So far, so good for them. It seems to be working as Yokota is at 3 with 3 minutes on the clock. Daegu once again putting the back foot when the defense, as we've seen in a couple matches before. They're just not able to find their footing here and get the point that they desperately want.
Desperately want, but desperately need as well. Approaching this halfway mark, they need to get something on the board for Daegu so they can at least have a chance to try and tie this game later on. But right now, they just need to get it away from their half. But Chaz putting that one on target, far post, away from any defender. It's going to put a 4th one in and just lengthening the lead for them.
Wow, yeah, once again, just popping it right over the defense. Nice clean shot, and with that, now there's a 4-point difference, and Daegu getting put on the back foot is going to try and move it over to Yokota's side here. This could be their opportunity, but Chaz gains control of the ball. The infamous kind of guy here at this point with the way that he's been getting goals left and right on their team, and once again, able to do it and get a hat trick.
Great play. Mace getting over the defense, and then Chaz just able to read that backboard bounce. Nobody able to save that one on the side of Daegu. And now you're looking at a 5-0 scoreline with almost 2 minutes left. Oh, that one's going to roll just wide. Very well could have been a 6th.
0-5, 2 minutes remaining. Chaz popping the ball up into the air. Caboose getting another couple demos, and with that, another scoreboard point. I see that there is some specialties on this team right now. I think we're almost even in how many times Chaz has scored with how many times Caboose has demoed someone. Caboose is ahead so far, but it seems like that might change depending on where this ends up going. As Chaz takes another shot on goal, but Brenora is able to save. Brenora holding on, getting a lot of really good jumps in there for the team right now as they're trying to figure out where they're going to go next. But Mace Windu has an opening, and Chaz tries to follow through. It bounces against the crossguard, and they're not able to get the goal that they want. Going to try and go for a follow through. Both members of Daegu that tried to go for it weren't able to get it. Broccoli looking for an opportunity. Oh, this is a rough spot, but they are able to get a demo onto Windu, get a little bit of revenge for what's been happening to them so much. The ball bounces off the backboard. Where's the follow through? We see Chaz, but he's not able to hit it as hard as he wants. Windu goes over. Now where is it going to be? Broccoli gets demoed. Defense is a little bit more open here. Getting a demo onto Ember as well. What is happening here?
Caboose is just letting them have it. No mercy. He's out for boost, trying to make sure nobody can touch this ball for the side of Daegu. And right now, 6-0, 1 minute left. This is looking like a very confident Yokota win to start off the series.
Are we just going to coin out for the boost now, since that's the closest equivalent for the cars here, as we can see with the demos?
Well, it's not like you can say blood.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, it was like, I was going to say blood, but then oil, but oil doesn't sound as good, so out for boost. Works for us here And he most certainly is. I think he has now topped the amount of demos in one game that we saw from Dan earlier as they go for a follow-through and get a hat trick for Mr. Mace Windu. "12 demos, one player." Caboose is at 12.
And he almost looks like he got 13 right there. Yeah, 13 total right now.
13.
Oh, what a number. Chaz playing it slow. And he's going to put in another one, putting it to 8. And his 5th goal.
As we're looking at this goal, I'd love to call out what our caster on the sideline has said as he's been calculating these demos. He wrote on our little board, "Caboose on Duluce." Although I'm not going to say it, for myself, I will let you know that that's his current thoughts as we continue this game. 20 seconds left, 0-8, and the demos are going to continue, it seems, going back and forth here, looking for another opening. And yep,
14.
You wouldn't be surprised here. Another
15.
demo. 6 seconds on the clock. 4, 3, 2, 1.
All has to do is just ground. Will he get one for the road?
It's close.
No.
Unfortunately, Daegu kind of, just if the angle was a little bit more to the left, they would have been able to get that and be able to end the match with 1 point on the board. But overall, we can just kind of see that, again, the issue that Daegu had earlier today, which is they just got put on the defense and never really got to take enough shots. I mean, looking at the stats, I think they took 1 or 2. It wasn't very many.
1 shot.
And so it's just an unfortunate thing that they've been stuck on the back foot for this entire time. And honestly, with the amount of demos that we were seeing there, that's hard to deal with when you're constantly losing players. And if anything, that's probably frustrating too, to constantly get demoed. That's not just a team coordination issue, that's a morale and frustration builder.
Oh, absolutely. And I can totally relate. I've been in so many situations where you just have that one player on the opposite team that is just hunting demos, not relenting any sort of way, just no mercy. And it does get really frustrating to have to try and deal with that, to be like, hey, I'm gonna go for the ball. Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead again. I'm respawning in 3 seconds. Oh, I'm gonna try and go for this. Dead. It's just demo after demo after demo after demo, and it's constant.
We haven't seen a double demo necessarily yet from this match, but we'll see how this goes continuing forward into game 2. So far, holding strong here with Yokota. Daegu needs to find what they can to hold it back, and at the very least, just try and get something here with it. But man, this is going to be a rough one for them.
It is indeed. But on to the kickoff. It's going to be in favor of Daegu to start off the match. Oh,
Demos right off the bat, but you know what?
It was a double demo.
A double demo, and I appreciate that Daegu saw what was going on and decided enough is enough. And although they weren't able to stop Chaz from getting the goal, he did get demoed as they were trying to save the ball. So, maybe a little of catharsis through there. Unfortunately, a goal being scored that early in the game is rough.
Oh, but a kickoff goal!
Right there! Go Brenora for that! What a clean shot on goal. And if I remember correctly, that is something we've seen Brenora do quite a bit. Great flip into that. Great control. We have been talking a lot about how much they've been putting Daegu on the defense, but Yokota got a little greedy there and was out of the way, and that led to them taking a point here. Currently tied. We'll have to see if they can keep it locked down now.
Maybe, but right now they need to rush onto the offensive half. Not that much boost to their name, but opportunity is a flying Mace, sending that one just wide of the net.
Could be. Oh!
Maybe a follow. Broccoli sending that one wide. Chaz doesn't have any boost though, can't do much. And double commit at a few players on the side of Daegu. And it's going to go to their half now. Chaz doing work. So is Caboose piling onto the numbers that he's
Was that a double demo?
He's already at 4 and it hasn't even been a minute.
1-1 here. Another demo in front of the goal, opening the way for Chaz. I mean, also just a really well set up shot there. Mr. Mace Windu setting it up for Chaz, and in a way, Caboose participating in that as well, knocking someone out. Though I feel like the demos might be getting out of hand here, as much as they're seeming to be helpful. kind of insane how far they're getting with this. I feel like Daegu is not really playing a car sports game. They might be playing a bit of a horror game. They don't know when Caboose might strike next.
I have vouched for the point that this game should get renamed to Bumper Cars.
I feel like that's accurate from what we're seeing here.
Very.
As once again, another demo goes through and Chaz is able to get a hat trick off of it.
And we got to see a full rotation of plays without, well, I lied, there were demos. But I think it was on the side of Daegu. I lied, Caboose is up to 6 right now. But Yokota up 3-1, a minute elapsed. Daegu only having that kickoff goal right now. Chaz missing that opportunity to get a 4th. And it's going to be a send down the other end of the field. It's going to go just wide.
Oh,
Follow
so
up,
rough
right.
for Daegu there. They were so close, and now they're going to have to try and find a way to get through it. They do get through Mr. Mace Windu, and they're now able to maybe make some headway, but it's going to go back to their side. They're going to have to be careful. Brenora looking to gain some control of the ball, but Chaz is there. They're going to have to be careful. Ember backing them up. Mr. Mace Windu watching the ball, but Chaz is able to bounce it away. Caboose getting another demo onto Broccoli at this point with 3 minutes on the clock. We'll have to see where this goes now. Daegu holding on as best they can, but they have to be careful with their goal here. This could be another pop-up. The waterfall goes down, but the demo is the focus here and not the goal, and so with that, they are not able to get the point.
They know that they're in the lead and that all they have to do is just waste time and burn it, let it go down. But Chaz says otherwise. He's going to put in a 4th one with 2 minutes and 40 left on the clock. They're going to put Yokota up 4-1 against this Daegu roster.
All right, starting the next match up here. You know, I was about to say we should play a game and stay quiet until the next demo, but of course, as soon as I open my mouth, there goes the demo. As we get into this next match, we are on Yokota's side here. Chaz is going to try and make a run away with it. Brenora is not able to keep up. Chaz tries to gain control of the ball.